Welcome to the show. All Things Bulldogs. Here we go, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Blue and white pride. Bulldogs for life. Dogfather here. Gas by my side.
G'day, Doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. Welcome to Sunday night. Hello to everyone who's joined in to say hello already. Tony's there having a good crack. He's got everything written down of what went wrong on the weekend. And so he bloody should. It was just one of those games. I think there was a couple of calls that went our way as well, but I think ours were a lot more critical in the end of the day. Even if the rules were applied correctly, it was just typical of our luck on the night. We will talk a lot about what's happening. G'day to you, Tony. G'day, obviously, to Gas. Welcome to you, mate. How you going, buddy?
Disappointed, frustrated, but life goes on. It's not good, but I think Serraldo summed it up well in the press conference, starting to express exactly what he's feeling and what's going on. So, I mean, he's 100% right. We're winning all the key areas. You look every week, we look at the stats, we look at everything. We're winning all those things that they work on during the week, except for the most important one, the one on the scoreboard. Consistently this year, that's just been our issue. You know, we're putting in the efforts, we're doing the right things in the right areas, we're just not winning the scoreboard. You know, we're giving away too many starts. So disappointing is myself at the moment. That stadium just seems to be cursed for us at the moment. Absolute, like, no luck in that place. Like, scarce wins we've had there. Just really pissed off turning up to that stadium every time and going away without the victory. No matter how well or what we've been playing. Even last year we were coming in playing well. We lost to the Tigers. Just, you know, just pretty poor. So it's such a great stadium, great place to play, and to not be able to keep getting a result there, and everyone else seems to lift over us instead of us. It's been two disappointing games out there this year so far, and we still have one more to go against the Panthers. So let's hope things are different in that stage of the year, hopefully.
Well, yeah. A lot of water to go under the, I don't know what the saying is, but a lot lot of footy to be played before we head back there again, luckily. Let's say hello to a few people, then I'll get into what we're going to discuss tonight. Obviously, the game's finishing now between, we shouldn't have very long to go, or it might have just finished between.
Just finished, mate. Panthers won by 2.
The Penrith Panthers won without Cleary.
And Isaiah, yeah.
Or Isaiah, so that's a big win for them.
I didn't see him out there, so I don't know, yeah.
Massive win. Welcome to D222. There's a salary cap. Everyone seems to be using it and sign the right players for the right positions. Why are the Dogs playing makeshift position? Why don't you just go out and use your captain? I'll answer that straight off the bat. When you're paying $4 million for players to play in other teams, it takes you years to get out of it. And even when we were supposed to have this, was it war chest of $2.5 million that was supposed to be ready by 2022? Some decisions were made because of fans putting so much pressure on the board and all that sort of stuff that and the CEO and everyone else, that they went and made some dumb decisions out of that, and then had to make a few more of those decisions in order to get a losing culture out of the team, which meant sending players off. So don't talk about fucking salary caps unless you're going to put it into context. It's one thing to be able to sit there and have, like the Dolphins to come in fresh. Everyone talked about they didn't have a marquee. They signed about 3 marquees. They were all about 18, 19 years old, and they've got a full junior base. Their base goes all the way out to Bundaberg as well. And the Dogs actually did a favour to that area by taking our games there for a few years, even though it wasn't even our territory. It was actually the territory of the opposition we played. So we're building our pathways. Things are happening internally. And I'll tell you another thing. There's a lot of players don't want to come to the Bulldogs, mate. And without Gus Gould or Cameron Serrato, we wouldn't have got half the fucking good players that we got. It's a simple fact of that. That's the fact. So you can talk as much crap as you want, and then sit there and put shit on the players that came to our club and took an opportunity to come to our club and make a career for themselves, who have actually turned into good players that you guys now think are the be all and fucking end all. And some of them are on their way down. And Josh Curran, I made the mistake of trying to suggest that he might start on an edge or he might play. He was fucking fantastic the way he came in, and that's because he's a good fucking player who got his ribs absolutely exposed and smashed. He's been trying to come back for weeks. People are talking about, he's not in it anymore, and he makes mistakes because he works so hard and he tries hard. He's had some poor games, but he also had some good games which just get overlooked now. It's only people got there decide who the villains are, and they just wait for him to make a mistake, and that's who their villain is now in our club and our team. So we'll get to our review and talk about those villains. Got this cockhead who wears glasses, who's bald, who's with hanging with what's his face, the guy from St. George. Like, honestly, go tell Leo Thompson to his face that he's not a good player. I'm sick of this shit. If you can't go and do it yourself, don't expect more out of other people. Like, I know they're professionals. I know they get paid good money, but fucking, it's all right to be frustrated, but to sit there and continually do it. Sit there and take the wins as like win at all costs, and that's all that matters. And as soon as there's a fucking loss, it's like bang, 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 bang. Get rid of everyone, sack everyone, and bring in a new team. Like, that team fucking tried their heart out on the weekend. And I'll say it, even in the games where we got flogged, there was individual moments where people played poorly. In moments. Over 80 minutes, there was lots of moments where the same individuals actually gave it a real crack. But that's not going to win you games in the NRL, and no one's saying it is. But unless they give it a crack, unless they all sit there and put their hands up and say, no, we're done. We can't win. I'll keep backing them to the hills and backing this club to turn it around. You know, we make the mistake of agreeing with Cameron Serrato in his press conferences. I'll guarantee you on NRL 360 tomorrow night, they will dedicate about 20 minutes to talking about Cameron Serrato's press conferences. I guarantee it, saying that he blames the refs every single week. And if you want to sit, you can sit there and get probably 20 captions of him this year saying something about, you know, when teams are sitting on your outside backs and holding you down in the ruck, and to play the balls noticeably slower by nearly a quarter of a second on average this week compared to the week before. It was driving rain last week, and we were getting away 3.2 second play the balls. This week they were getting 3.5, 3.7, 4 second play the balls. It was a sandy surface. There was a lot of rain before, but it was still better conditions than what the Bulldogs had against the Storm. Yet it was slowed right fucking down, and that gave us no hope from the get-go because they were just – anyway, we'll get into it, but I'm sick of dickheads coming on who think they go, oh, every team's got the same cap. It's about winning. Of course it's about winning, and we will win once we get our fucking shit together, which is what we've been trying to do, and it's well on track. Trust me, even after two senior pathways losses to West this weekend, which made it even worse, which is quite annoying, but depleted, both sides. Anyway, welcome to Timmy, Tony, Lucas, Brian. Who else have we got? Sayed, Bulldogs, Mike, Aki, and anyone else so far? British Bulldog, Abraha. And there we go. So tonight, guys, obviously we're going to talk about the moments of the game and the review, who are the best players, what we think might give an early preview or early thoughts on what we think might happen moving into next week. The coach said Trace will be back, so it's a bit of a dilemma for me as to what we do. I know the easy answer is Shiraz, but we also want to look at whatever else we can. And we've got a few more people on now, which is really, really good. We'll look at those senior pathways. Had a massive win in Ron Massey Cup, which was awesome. And then we'll get into some of your chats. Chance to still win a Bulldogs jersey, guys, and we're about $100 short of our target now. So we've put all the money in from All Things Bulldogs. We've got another couple of donations today, so we're about $100 short of our team target, which is $1,500. If you wish to donate, click on the link there for Walk For Autism, or let us know that you wish to do it. And all direct donations to Walk For Autism will also get a ticket in for the jersey as well tonight. And that jersey will be drawn Tuesday, Gas. So, yes. And Gas will be also going out. It is Tuesday, isn't it? Tuesday.
6 p.m. Tuesday at Canterbury Leagues.
Bulldogs Mike's going to be there and meet you and get a photo, hopefully. So, anyone else is going out there, Gas, just want to tell them a little bit about it, the rules and all that sort of stuff, what to expect.
You need to go online, guys. Go to the Bulldogs site. You need to pre-register, put your membership number in if you're a member, and then you'll receive a barcode. You'll get that back. It'll basically mean that you're in there to go. So on the day, they'll be policing that. You'll also only be able to basically sign one item basically per player. So if you've got, for example, a jersey or something and you want that signed, both the full men's team and the full women's team apparently will be in attendance. So if you do have something you want signed by either or, bring a Sharpie with you. They probably will have on each the players potentially, but bring a Sharpie, bring your jersey or flag or whatever you want signed, whatever souvenirs you've got, but just one item per person, guys. and there's no recordings as well. So there won't be any videos or selfies or stuff like that you can do on the night as well. So they want to keep people moving so it's not too cumbersome for everyone involved.
Beautiful. Thanks heaps, mate. So we'll go through a few chats. We'll start there with I'll just read a couple, then I'll hand it over to you, mate. Tony said, hello, boys. I'm actually still so sore after that belting we received from Ashley Klein last night. Video ref, unbelievable. They call them 50-50s, not 95-5. How they missed the offside. Yeah, well, even I missed the offside, to be fair. I just knew we were going to, as soon as that went against us, it's just the way the script has gone. It's like a movie, which is how a lot of these shitcasters and fans view things these days. It's like a movie, and they expect a happy ending at the end. And we just sort of know that the way our movies are going, that it's more of a horror movie this season, and we're not getting the happy ending that we're after. Timmy said, definitely not getting the rub of the green. I'm confident things will turn around, though. Tony said, Skelton, third tackle of the game, knocks on, missed. Yeah, I thought I saw a couple of stuff, like a couple of those things as well, mate. We've just been given a massive... Oh, thank you so much, mate. That's bloody awesome, buddy. So, thank you so much, Tony. That's another donation from Tony.
Thanks, mate.
So keep it coming, everyone. So I'll whack another 30 straight into the autism, because they'll take 20 out of that, $24 out of that for taxes. But that's all good, mate. Beautiful. Love it. Don't put any more in. That's also going to give you another 5 or 10 tickets in the draw, mate. So well done. Big thank you. I know it's not for that. Strip on Galvin was missed. Yeah, it's I felt I sort of knew he was going to penalise Critter in that one that he did. It was more animated. The Tigers one was more sneaky, and we did have the opportunity to review it. But who's to even say that review goes your way? Like, they can so easily just say, oh, he's got his hand on the ball and it's a loose carry and he's dropped it. Like, that's the sort of luck we're getting anyway. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, and I can understand why Serraldo raised that as well during the press conference, because if you look back at last week, we won 3 reviews last week. So what he's trying to say, and the same thing by saying it again this week, is we're not getting those calls. It's right in front of the referee, the closest person in the game. You know, more often than not, if they're looking at the stuff like that, they'll penalise first. Then it can be reviewed by the opposition team to say, no, we didn't strip it actually. Example, like Michael said, it's one of those ones where we don't know at the end of the day whether they're going to call it. But when you looked at it in slow motion, and I mean, we only saw a very quick replay at the game, and from what we could see, there was clearly a hand as he was coming down to the ground, pulling that ball out. So they showed that after the fact, after, Critter decided not to review it. But, yeah, there is a lot like that, and that's why we've been saying we're not getting the rub of the green. We're not getting those calls that make the difference, because at the moment, because of the way that everything's been built up in the last 18 months, it doesn't suit the narrative to allow us to get all those breaks and results. It helps them when it's like we're suffering. And it just feels like the refs are refereeing the games that way as well. It's like, yeah, but you know what? It's a good story when the Tigers do well or whoever we're playing. So it will just, it doesn't look like it's theirs. I mean, that penalty, I mean, that try for Taruva, how you could miss the fact that he was clearly in front and was the one that hit him. So he was obviously inside the 10 meters. I mean, okay, you can understand the current try, even though, like you said, he hit it with his hands first. So maybe they need to review that. Otherwise, what's the point of a charge down?
I'll give you.
You need to be like Underhill last week, basically all the way out to the side and running sideways, But if you have to keep running through, what are you going to do? Like current charge down, then step around him? Okay. So, yeah, there's a lot of things, guys, that were not helping, not going our way. A lot of those decisions were missed. it goes both ways. People always say yes, but we keep consistently getting it against us week in, week out, week in, week out. And we analyze the game, guys. We watch it. It's very, very, animated. We're watching. We're seeing what we're seeing. It's just it's a theme that seems to be recurring every week, every game, and we're not getting it at the moment. It's just not our way.
Yeah, finish.
Yeah, and the players have been turning up still, guys. Even after all the stuff that happened, they still gave themselves a chance in the last 2 minutes. They had a couple of sets of 6, and the Tigers pulled off some great tackles just to stop us from scoring in that last period of time to try to get that result. Like, we could have easily, scored a try late. And I was telling Aki, mate, I can see 23-22. I can see 23-22. I could just see us getting into golden point. And then, usually the team that comes back and usually for us, we just find a way to ice the game and get that result. But it just didn't eventuate. I will say from CommBank Stadium and the Tigers, not in the spirit of the game, when an opposition team scores, put the frigging thing on the replay. Don't just keep telling us what your next game is, so not show us the replay. That's not very good for anyone at the ground when you don't use those screens for a replay. Very poor form, Tigers. Very poor form.
Yeah.
Only show your own tries. When the opposition scores, you don't show the replay. You just show, please turn up to our next game. I don't care if that's a little thing that you want to do, but that's very, very poor form, guys.
There's been a lot of I felt the Broncos home ground stuff was atrocious. Continuously screaming like it was way louder than what it should be, and way louder than the crowd. And there was 44,000 there or whatever, 42,000 doing defense every time the Bulldogs had the ball, even when we're coming off our own fucking line. Just every set, it was every single set. But there's 3 things I want to talk about. So we had the Burton and how the commentary is complicit in this, in what we're talking about here, Gas, because the knockback for the 6 again, like they should clearly be saying Burton's offloading the ball there, or Burton's trying to offload the ball. It's not a loose carry that's falling out backwards. He's trying to offload the ball and keep the ball fucking going. But instead, there's no talk of that. It's just there's the challenge, and then they said that he fucking lost it, which is bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Oh, you've lost it into it's when you're trying to pass the ball backwards and it hits an opposition player, it's not a knock on. And I'm sick of this fucking. It's like they're determined to have their influence on the game, but then they make these mandatory things where they actually don't rule whether it has gone forward or back.
That happened to us last week. There was the one where he was in the tackle and the Storm challenged it and won the challenge because they said he was trying to pass it.
Yeah.
Even though he lost the ball. But they were saying that he was trying to pass it back, and that's why they gave them a inconclusive. Yep. And they said, that's it, mutual infringement.
The other 2 things that I want to talk about is when Vossi goes back to the Tupanua one, where they show us one fucking angle. We still haven't seen an angle from the other side to show whether Tupanua actually hit the guy in the head. Someone said they've had a head clash. Someone said that his shoulders hit Makasini's head. Now, his arm was still more of a wrapping action than Twal's. Twal's barely went around at the end. Satili's whipped around. So he's gone like that, and he's got his arm ready, and he's hit the shoulder, and then it's flung around like that, which is the way they all do it. They all tackle like that. Twal was just a bit lazy with it and just turned his shoulder in and then sort of just went, and then it just sort of slowly went out a little bit, flopped out, and they tried to say it was the same thing. Maybe it was. The fact of the matter is that we knocked the ball on and then challenged it. So it's a different set of circumstances. We challenged it and it goes to the rule of the law, which I guess is the same sort of thing as with the charge down thing. The fact that Luai chases the ball back, they should just let that fucking go. Like, anyway, the other point is that the commentators sit there and make out like Satili Tupanua has hit Makasini in the head. off that one view. Oh, maybe Tupanua should have been penalised, or is lucky to be on the field, Constant stuff. Ever since the Toby Sexton, ever since Galvin come to the club, the narrative has just been one nail after the other in that commentary box. It is just consistent. It is constant.
Started round one with Critter.
Yep, 100%. Everything there is just a constant narrative, like to the point where they could sit there and have a whole segment with Buzz last year on Critter deliberately sticking his nose into the mouth of Kyle Flanagan. like that's just blaming the person who's been bitten for being bitten. That's just the levels that they go to. Like they don't even hide it anymore. And then you got Ennis, as we kept talking about, the constant focus on the dummy half stuff. We're seeing how well Hayward's going and coming off the bench, enjoying that freshness, and he's giving the ball to whoever's the dominant playmaker, putting their hand up the most. He's getting a lot of these calls right. It's hard off a slow ruck. He took a couple of runs, took 3 runs, I think, in that 50 minutes, which is the most he's done. Obviously, he can do a bit more running when he's not having to tackle for 80. So that's what it's about. And it's about getting his energy up, and he's just going to get better and better and better and better, which what it is. I remember Lachlan Croker, who played hooker for Manly for years, it took him like 2 or 3 years to sort of get into the groove of it. Then he became one of their most important players. It's the toughest position on the field. We've got Gordon Chan Kum Tong. He went a bit better. He played another full half of footy today. I think played 50 minutes again, which is 2 weeks in a row. Pat Young come on. Pat was great out of dummy half. Got us, I think, 3 6 agains from using his smartness out of dummy half. But we end up losing the match, which is so annoying. A couple of long-range tries, an intercept killed us in the end. The other part was that offside where they don't even check it, don't even look at it. And the fact that, we even had a West Tigers fan suggesting that the Carraz should have been sent off like Ponga for that collision because he turned his shoulder and apparently hit Taruva in the head. Taruva, who was falling, and took him out.
Is that the same player running at him without a ball?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
That's how ridiculous it's got. And they don't care, the media, because they know the fans will just have their stuff. There's so many more moments there where they just, if something happens, they just talk about it in favour of the opposition. I do want to go to a chat down the bottom to Abraha because I want to completely I've actually agreed with a lot of things he said on a couple of comments watching live, but there's some things that I really want to challenge in what he said. But Sayed says, "G'day, boys. Proud of the team's effort. Game was lost when they missed Taruva being offside and taking out Kraz. We do, however, need to fix our first 30 after the initial first 10." 100%. I will say, so Abraha.
It's not like we didn't play well though in that first 10 or 30. We actually, you could see the intensity. We were winning the yardage. We were getting the ball back on the 30, 40. We were doing all the right things, but then as soon as we gave them an opportunity, we just were letting in cheap points straight away. That was the difference. Everything up and around that, we were doing well. So, but yeah, we need to stop giving away all these team starts, guys, where, 16-0 down, 18-2 down. It's just constant. So that's where we can't just keep fighting back every game to try to win. It's been consistent since the Newcastle game. Behind since then and chasing. Newcastle, Rabbitohs, every game. The list goes on. The only one against Penrith, we were up 16. We got back to 16 all. We still went away. Every other game, we're chasing, guys. We're chasing every time. So
I really want to
have a go
with Abraha here a little bit. Honestly, guys, Tupanua deserves to be on a winning team. Well, yeah, he's been our best this year, no doubt about it, and he played phenomenal on the weekend. And And he would have had an even better go if we had a straight running, hard running player on the left edge as well, which I think Salmon's great out there off momentum through the ruck where our guys are running rough shot, and then he knows where to get the ball to. But and he's happy to do some yardage runs and some work from there, but he's not
the damaging runner that he should be.
He's not the damaging runner which keeps players holding off, and hesitant on their decisions that the Cherries and the Burtons should be taking advantage of, which made them really one-dimensional. But I want to get to this with the problem with the Dogs. They just do not have that intensity and hunger like the previous years in defence, and also do not forget the 50-50 calls we aren't getting. So I agree with the 50-50 calls. I would suggest that the hunger was over the top last week on Saturday night. Yesterday. I felt the hunger early was burning them out. I felt they went overly hard, and the defense, it wasn't that when I'm seeing four blokes, we drove them back and got our game on. I saw it at least 25 times. We played our game, and Benji knows that our coach is playing a style of game management from the team, which is good for rugby league. Obviously, he also knows they knew what we were doing in attack because they knew what we were going to do after this Melbourne game. It's like, well, if we slow their ruck down, guys, if we slow down their ruck, give away 6 agains, give them away, set our line. They weren't prepared to take a scrum. They deliberately gave away the penalty on a scrum. They knew exactly what they had to do. It was well coached by Benji. Well coached. And this is where our team, it worries me. It's like, if we listen to the fans, I was hoping that Curran would play left edge because sometimes it just depends. If he's fully fit and wound up, he runs good lines and runs hard. And that's what he's used to. If he's sort of tentative into it, he's good. He's much better defensively. I think like Salmon didn't do anything wrong in my opinion. He just doesn't offer that threat. And I felt that players like Curran, and we've got Spinks coming through, and I've loved what Alatini has been doing in New South Wales Cup. And there's some stuff I want to talk about with the way we're building our building into it all, because there's no shortcuts in our development system. It's like they're going through each year, and they take some time in each grade to get their footing. Then they make a difference, and then they get better and better, and then they move up a grade, they get better and better, and then they move up a grade and they get better and better. And by the time they're ready to go, they're chomping at the bit and they contribute. And the ones that come in and do that, maintain their spot, the ones that sort of come in and don't take that opportunity properly, probably find themselves, playing a lot more cup and then being a sort of a backup and then at some point leaving the club. But we're starting to find those players that haven't taken any shortcuts. And I'm looking at Tasai Alatini and thinking he's one that's started getting New South Wales Cup last year, struggled a bit, got it this year, had some up and down moments, got that trial game where he was sort of got smashed a couple of times by the Cowboys. Now he's starting to become a really strong contributor, and today he played really well, especially that first half. Thought I'd give him a shout out. But I think the hunger's there at all. What we had is when Cherry lazily misses that ball. That's all I can say about that. They then go down onto our line, and the spacing with Galvin and Critter, that was poor. That was really poor defense. I don't call that lack of hunger. I just call that switching off for one moment. The second try, Rinakama's sort of retreating. It looks like he's potentially held up. There's no talk about it. He scored the try.
Seraldo spoke about it in the press conference.
But the commentators had nothing to say about it. No caring about. I'll say is that both try, but at least Goff called Critter's try a try. That's at least he did that. And I could see straight from the get-go that he didn't really get it down. Although there is one obscured bit where all the water splashes up, where that ball might have actually turned on its head like that, on its point, and hit the ground, but you can't really tell, and it's split second. And then there's that they score one really good try where they did their homework, and Kai Pearce-Paul's only real contribution of the game was that deliberate offload, which is a move that we've used, on that we've used on our left edge a few times, where I've seen Kickow deliberately do that offload, and Preston a couple of times. So it's a play we've used before, but outside of that, I felt they repelled the Tigers quite a few times in defence. They threw a fair bit at us at different times. They had their struggles as well. Had a few injuries and whatever else, bit of disruption. But the intent from the team, the commitment for the team, there was no hesitation in our play, except for that first incident in defence. And also when Carraz knocks that ball on when they get the penalty, because Goff takes out Seyfarth, who disrupts Carraz's run.
Yep.
And balked him.
He fell at his feet. Yep.
Yeah. So, and we saw Carraz jumping up for the ball on one where I'm like, don't jump up for it. He had the confidence to get it. He was laughing about it as he hit the ground. So I can't believe I got that one. I just felt really gutted for the team, Gas. I really felt gutted for them. And I won't have it. People saying they're not as hungry. They're fucking just as hungry.
They were having a go, mate. Even you watching at the game, they were chasing every single thing that moved. They were having a go. It's just at the end of the day, like, the frustrating thing for me was, like, I mean, they were hoping that by going down their left side to Birdo and to Cherry, they would try to get similar results to what they did last week. So if you can see the start of the game, the first whatever minutes of the game, they kept harassing down that left side. There was a break made by Cherry. We got close, and then still early in the tackle count, we had chances to basically go either way. And it was about the 20-minute mark. And you could see the right side was just spread out from here to Melbourne. And they just needed to get the ball out there to do something, because the left side just wasn't it wasn't getting the results. They were marking us up. They were doing their homework on us from the previous week. Yet they kept going back to the left, and then we lost the ball, and then we turn over, and the game just kept going. And then from that moment, I believe, because Mann hadn't taken it as the dummy half, he should have been going right, probably, whether that's the call or not. I felt like straight away Hayward came straight on. I'm like, he looked like, to me, he got hooked earlier for 20 minutes. He could have done a few more minutes, but he looked like he got taken off a bit earlier. But for me, once we started going down the right, because they were so heavily weighted, that's where we did all our damage. Tuala is in career best form. Like, if I had to look at yesterday's game, it would be Sitili, Carraz, Tuala as my 3-2-1s in the match. But Tuala's been outstanding. Between him and Sitili, what they did out there, and then Critter coming into his own as well and doing what he had to do. They were fantastic out there, guys. And we were getting that advantage. And they started going there a lot more later, because that's where they were getting the results. But we put too much into our left side, and they were just waiting for it. So that was disappointing from our guys, not to basically say, you know what, let's just mix it up a bit and go down the other way. We had chances early on, and by that stage, guys, it was 16-0. It was just we kept losing ground. So and then again, you had to start playing catch up again. You just can't keep playing that catch up footy. And we didn't even have a grubber. I don't think we had one grubber in the whole game. Zero. We're not once did we sort of change the game up, like roll the ball in behind, just do something different. I mean, look at the Origin the other night. Bang. The best players in the game when we're conceding points to 3 grubbers. Best players in the game. And we didn't fire one shot in the whole game to just break up. Because all you do is you do it once or twice, guys. What happens is the winger, or they start to hang back a little bit, expecting it to come. If you don't do it, then they're just gonna keep being in your face. You know, you just need to do those little things sometimes just to break up and change your game a bit. That's all. So, what do you got on the chats, mate?
Just want to make sure we say good day to everyone. Timmy said a beautiful good day to everyone.
G'day, Timmy.
So did Sayed. Bulldogs Mike, we're going well, brother.
Mike.
There's Aki. Tony also said that stupid rule regarding Curran, if he gets tackled a metre short, dummy half dives over, cannot call back the play, try awarded, rule stinks. Yeah, that's one of the
100%.
Gus pet hates. Definitely. Tony, yep, Para this Monday. A call. Definitely at a call, mate.
Yep.
Sayed says a lot of negative Nancy's have come out. Our fans are fickle. A lot of them come out only when we lose and repeat the same shit. Well, our fans need to harden the fuck up.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Look, the entitlement in people these days has just become a joke, an absolute joke. And I feel like I'm a bit entitled myself. Like, I'm definitely not 100% walking the talk there. There's moments where I just feel it's all about me, and I get it. But come on, guys. Now I want a big shout out to Adam Druisi, whose daughter suffered a medical episode the night that we won in Vegas. And she's been in hospital ever since.
21-year-old.
And the amount of crap that Druisi has copped, all these people saying, "Oh, you're hiding behind mental health is why you haven't come out." Someone said, like, I haven't heard him say anything, but they must have heard, got something from the club potentially that he's currently just, taking a bit of a, he's doing his role and everything, but he's got some other things to focus on. And they just think that they can go out there and start harassing him and stuff publicly. It's just bullshit. It's like, we don't give anyone the benefit of the doubt these days. We don't. And then we talk about entitlement. It's like, oh yeah, we can come out afterwards and say sorry, and then everything will be all right. You know, like, no, words mean something. You know, we don't just get to say sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes we are sorry, but it's got to mean something as well. Not till, next loss, nah, fuck it. You can get stuffed. It's just got to stop. You know, the booing thing, I agree with Cameron in that, and Benji. It's the banter of the crowds. It's part of the rugby league folklore. It's at least it's at the ground. For me, and this is what I said to Gas, and he 100% agrees. It's not the booing. It's why they're fucking booing.
Yep.
They're booing based off a narrative, like people like James Hooper just getting absolute bullshit funneled through to them that didn't happen. That I know for a fact didn't happen. Yet he's allowed to just sit there and say it like it did. I'm getting word now. Galvin was addressing the players, telling them that he was leaving, and they were just ignoring him and turning their back on him, and blah, 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 blah. Look, if they're like that, if they were, those people were, I knew that was bullshit the moment I heard it. That's not how it goes down in clubs. Whether they had their own little personal grievances, which people do, as a collective group, they show respect. They're on show. There's other people there. They could sit there and question him and why would you do that or whatever. But that's for them to know and for us to find out. But for all that crap they said, you know, they're all asked to give feedback and provide notes. Anthony Seibold was then, you know, was ridiculed because he had the players, you know, handing them all individual sort of things to focus on. Like, there's note taking and shit in all these clubs. There's feedback from volunteers. There's feedback from trainers, from people in the media club with what everyone gives their feedback. There's constant reviews going on. They're professional organizations. I don't know where people work. Like, does everyone just work in a place where it's just absolute chaos every day and nobody actually does anything? maybe. But yeah, I've just had enough. I've had a fucking enough of the negative Nancy's. Get behind and support the team. James Graham come out on Triple M. Get behind them and support them. You'll do more by supporting the team than doing anything else. Why do Bulldogs fans feel that they've got to have some sort of control over what the club's doing? Why do we feel that we have to have some? What does our ego need to be linked towards how the club progresses and plays? And why do we appreciate that? All these guys who get on there and say, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. Look what happens when they when they listen to me. As Gas and I have said 1,000 times, if they're listening to us, that is a problem. as in the players or the coaches or the club.
Yeah.
The only thing they should be taking feedback on is the merch that they're buying, how they interact with the players, all that sort of stuff, the facilities, the game day experiences, all that sort of stuff. Not who picks the team, not who they should buy. That's part of it. We get it. We engage in it as well, but only for our own personal, entertainment. Not that the club should actually fucking do anything about what we say. Some more chats there, brother, before we get into the stats and everything.
Yeah. Alamotti was unbelievable tonight. Well, he did have a poor moment where he slipped over and allowed a try, but all those wingers are, and those blokes out wide now do very well to do those big one-handed dives and put the ball down. They train very hard for that. So yeah, it's been second nature to them now. Oath Mikey, thank you for calling out the cap thing.
My pleasure, brother.
Curran had his best game all year. Yes, agree. We are playing at 8 core, guys. It is 8 core, yes. Problem with Curran is inconsistent. Next week he'll be mistake riddled, unfortunately.
But Tony, it's usually off the back of what he has to do. So he shouldn't have had to be our middleman, and that's one of the things. Like, he's had to be a sort of do so many different things, and he's not a prop, but he's fulfilled that role. And when he had to be Max King for a while, like, he was sensational. He was making 150, 160 meters. He's one of our best players in 2024. In 2025, he was struggling with he was coming back from injury. He was struggling with fitness, suspensions. He just couldn't get any fucking fluency. Fatigue brings errors. Fatigue comes through injury. Fatigue is when you're sitting there and going, Connor Tracy needs to be dropped. It's because he was injured. The same after he come back from the damage he got last year. He was really poor those first few weeks. The trial match he played at the start of last year against the Dolphins, everyone sat there and said, Connor Tracy, we've got to sack him now. He dropped the ball 3 times. The wind was about 1,000 kilometers an hour that day, and had the sun in his eyes. And we didn't make the Broncos have to catch the ball like that in that area. So plus you got the shade moving and all that sort of thing throughout the day. It was played in the Arvo. But everyone said he was going to be shit. He was in our best player, Gas, until round 17.
Yep.
Most consistent.
Yep.
Try savers. Passes. What about they all talk about Critter against Parra and that comeback that we won the year before. Connor Tracy down that edge was sensational. Who threw the ball to Blake Wilson for the match winner?
Yep. British Bulldog. Hi, guys. On a plus side, real fight throughout and signs of cohesion. Downside, even with 6 against, just not clinical enough and conceded a little bit too much too fast in that bad spell in the first half. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
unfortunately, when we're down, we're very down. Like, we're just, like, to be honest with you, when you're watching the game, you don't feel like we were 16 points down, like, as in from what we were delivering. It wasn't kind of like the Sharks game where we just were making poor errors. But it didn't feel like we were winning all the key areas, just kept conceding points. It was just crazy.
And a lot of those 6 agains, as I said, 3 of them were on a first tackle, 2 were one after the other on a 0 tackle.
Yeah.
And done deliberately to reset their line and make sure we couldn't get any momentum.
And then I think we lost it on the second tackle when Cherry put his arm out. So Tupanua has been one of our best, 100%, probably the most consistent player this year so far. Avarillo going to the Tigers, probably. Not sure if that's confirmed, but yeah.
I'd have a crack at Herbie.
Oh, yeah. Sam Bardul, welcome, buddy. Nice to see you coming with your positivity as usual, mate.
I don't even know who Sam Bardul is, but welcome, brother.
That's all right.
If you want to comment again, it'll do a super chat. And negative comments, super chats, and we'll put them on for you.
G'day, all shitty week results-wise, although we were right in the flag and the reserve grade.
It just wasn't our week, guys. Wasn't our week at all. And g'day to you, champion Matty.
G'day, old fella Dave.
He just sent me a photo of his new bomber jacket. He said it needs to get colder in Queensland because he's sweating in it. Yep. Looks amazing, by the way. The new Bulldogs bomber jacket.
Queenslander. Normally have to pay for a happy ending.
I don't pay for mine, mate.
Evening, Mike. Cool. G'day, buddy. Felt like we got robbed, sadly, but we move on and go again next week. That current call really cost us. Yeah.
Now, Michael, I'm going to talk to you guys. I think you've put in a $1 donation or something. You needed, I think, another $4. Or did someone do that for him? No, that was Harsha.
That was someone else that did it for someone else. Yeah.
I think you need $4, Mike, to get into the draw for the jersey, but we will extend
Mike,
the jersey.
Got to win the other jersey. So Mike, guys, he won a couple of weeks ago and chose one of the training shirts. He did pay the difference from what he actually won, and I presented that to him at the game yesterday. So
beautiful.
Thanks for that, mate. Thanks for catching up. And I also managed to present the flag as well, guys, to Mike as well, to the other Mike, from the ones that we did in the week leading up to Vegas. So I think that was for Mike Warren.
Yeah, Mike Warren was up.
Good to meet you there as well. Was up.
And did you meet his mate Rodders?
No, he just came over on his own, mate. Caught up with us where we were. Did the presentation. Said hello.
He's another great Bulldogs fan, Rodders, and he's you'll have to meet him as well. He's on Instagram, and he did a really good post from yesterday. You know, just positivity the whole way, sticking strong with the team, even when we're not playing the best or not having things go our way.
You can answer the next one then, mate.
Even if the Dogs got all the calls, wouldn't change much. The players are not on the same page. Look, I feel there is a little bit of they seem to be on the same page when they win a game. So I don't know about that.
All I can say about that is I'll use a line from Big Bang Theory. That's your opinion.
Yep, nice. We also have I felt like Cherry has this thing where he doesn't look to pass.
Yeah.
Even when he was skipping around making that breaks in the first half down the left where he just kept sort of going, he's looking down. He's not looking around. And at the end there, when he's standing upright in a tackle, he should be looking to get the ball out to his winger.
100%.
I'm not critical of players, and I understand how hard it would have been and how exhausted they are and that sort of thing. But, you know, and that was the other thing with the commentary, talking about how Cherry and Burton are getting a cold out there, trying to make it look like Galvin's having too many possessions again and all that sort of stuff. And then they waited for that where we had back-to-back sets and it kept going right. But right is where we're making all the damage.
That's right. Just like last week's left, it was working. Go there. Yesterday, the right was working. Keep going there.
We went left all first half.
Yep, it didn't work exactly. Right until the end there, when Carras scored on the right there, and then we almost scored again. When we got that great set just before half time, and it was just unlucky that Critter had his pants pulled down again, just like Galvin copped in Brisbane, and that slowed him. That didn't give him the ability to just reach out and put the ball down the way he wanted, because he was dragged back with that bloody pantsing. Just friggin' stupid little things that just keep getting us, man. Annoying.
Just so people realize how badly they manipulate you. It goes along with the rules of the game as well, where if Curran's pulled down a metre out, it's the same with those where they knock on from an intercept. If they get tackled before and then score, they don't look at it.
Can't go back.
And some people who know that they've knocked it on or whatever, they actually try and get caught because they're not stupid. They know if they score the try.
Yep, it'll
and some of them don't even know. They can't tell. It's happening so quickly out there. Where that's just another thing. People feel they haven't knocked on or whatever, and they have and shit like that. But this other point where we get manipulated is that if Critter scores that try, Curran gets that try, and there's no touch on it. The discussion isn't about, and we win the game. We win by 6, 12 points, whatever. They don't score that other try because Curran scores. Game's a bit different. We go on and win it, right? Win it in a close one. The talk isn't about, it's about how Galvin and that right edge and Tupanua and Critter, Critter scores that try. The discussion about him's different. I don't care when anyone says the discussion is different, but he doesn't get it down. Yes, he is injured. Yes, he would be feeling frustrated, and I think we can see it a little bit. Gas talked about that today, but I still feel the intent and the efforts there from the guy. I see it a lot. He's doing a lot more work. He's doing a lot of tough stuff this year where he wasn't doing that last year.
Yeah, he's doing a lot more get-ups, yeah, and post-contact's been very strong all year.
It's always good. 2 knock-ons from the play the ball for New South Wales, and apparently that means you've had a bad game. No. The try he scored...
the try he set up in the Origin was crazy.
Yeah.
Not many could have done that
break.
Why he did.
And the break he made after Satili got him the ball, like he had to do, he had work to do to break through. Yeah. And look, that's what we expect from $1 million player. Don't get me wrong. We expect him to do that. He needs to do that. He needs to deliver on that. But that was just great defense in the end by Buller, and he won that collision and
whoever it is that pulled him back as well. So there was two there like that involved that dragged him back. Like it was a perfect combination to just be able to stop him. And I mean, he had no right halfway coming down there to even get there. Then he looked like he was going to score. Then they managed to stop him. But these are the things, guys. When you're winning games, you get like a 50. You find the ball gets over the line there. And this is the thing at the moment. All these little things are just working against us, and we're just not getting the rub of the green ourselves. Just not getting that stuff happening, and it's just, it's frustrating. Like we said at the start, you sit there and you just put all that effort in, but you know what? You just got to say the players know what's going on. They hate it. They don't want it. They think they can still win it, turn it around, get in the finals, all of the above. So they're still working just as hard. They're training. They're doing meticulous on every single thing to come out next week, and they'll do the same thing to Parramatta. They want to go out there and absolutely smash them, especially after the way that they pulled our pants down a few weeks ago. So
it's on. It's on.
They will want to go out there and absolutely smash them, guys. And I'm hoping Moses is back so we can have their whole team there to play against. I don't want any excuses.
That's it. And this is how close it is. You go back to – sometimes I'll just sit there and I'll be up late at night and I can't sleep, and I'll be watching replays from 2012. I'll go through all the history books. I've got all the videos. Just to win games sometimes in those successful years that we had came down, Ben Barber in 2011 plays, I think, 20 matches, has a much bigger season. He would have played a lot more footy in 2010 if he didn't have that fight with Jamal Idris at a nightclub. But there was moments there where, and he played in a few different positions in 2011, but settled at fullback eventually. He, where he doesn't save tries. You know, and if he saves a couple of those tries, it changes games, changes momentum. We win a few more games. We probably make the finals. We only missed out in the end, I think, by about 2 to 4 points from making the 8. We finished 9th. Won the last game. I think that was against the Raiders. Maybe Andrew Ryan ended up in the Bobcat after the game, after he scored a try or something. He jumped the fence and jumped into the Bobcat or something. I remember something like in the Star Wars Vader jerseys, maybe, was it? But the thing I'm trying to say is that in 2012, he makes some defensive tackles in games, in close games that we won. There was a difference between us finishing, bottom of the 8, and finishing first or second in the season. Defensive moments, it comes down to. There's so much of that happens for you to get there. They're one individual moment. It changes everything. Now, if you miss those moments, it can affect your whole season, because what happens after that? They're talking about defending mistakes and everything like that, but I'm just saying it's on a knife's edge. It's a great game. It's a back and forth game, a momentum game. I felt they got it right last year. They got it, especially towards the end of the year. I just felt the game was exciting. I enjoyed that semi-final series, except for the big loss to the Panthers. Except that Brisbane won, which pissed me off even more. But I still felt the footy was good. But yeah, they've just massacred it this year. And obviously, State of Origin, the teams did pretty well, actually. They all got up quick. They played the ball quick. There wasn't too many penalties in the game. Few wrong decisions. 2 by the bunker, and 1 the bunker got right. I felt they got wrong, but New South Wales won, which is all that matters. It's just getting to that point, man. It's just getting to that point for us where it's so do or die that it's going to come down to moments like that. And if we don't get those moments, we're not going to make the 8. Some people say that's an afterthought now anyway. But it's become, we're on the tightrope now. We need to go on a big run. We have to beat Para. We get the bye. We have to beat Manly. We have to beat the Titans. We get another bye. That puts us in the picture, and then it's run home from there. But
didn't last year's premiers lose today to a team that's lost 15 in a row in Brisbane?
And they nearly only needed 12 minutes to steal it off them. It's quite funny, but
doesn't matter. Brisbane's been doing that all year from the World Club Challenge. They've been coming back but not doing the job this year. You can't survive on that, guys. They done it last year in the finals, and that's it. So, you give a team, and any team in the NRL a start, or just you don't play your best game, and you got to get your pants pulled down, guys. It's just going to happen. So,
look, we've only conceded what?
Win.
I think we've only conceded 12 to 18 points in the last 50 minutes of the last 3 matches we've played. I know it's irrelevant, but we're finishing games off really well. And that's something we can continue to work forward towards.
We're winning the second halves easily, but it's just too much when you're giving away the big starts. We won the second half in Magic Round against the Sharks. We won the second half last week, obviously, to come back against the Storm. We won the second half yesterday, 10-6. We're winning the second halves, but we're just giving away too much starts. So the fitness is there, the effort's there. Like, the guys know that they come over the top, but you just need to get the start right. And then if you have to come back late, like they did against Penrith, then you're okay. But you need to be getting that start right. You need to keep the game in the balance. Our game is based on us playing a grinding style, wear the opposition down, because then we can come back over the top. We're doing everything except not getting the game in the way we want it. Even Critter said it in the press conference, guys. You'll hear him talk about it too if you listen to it. It's just we're not getting that. We're not getting our result. We're not getting the usual game that we're doing. We're doing all the right things, but we're not getting the result, and we're losing the scoreboard. That's the key, guys. We're giving away those key moments, letting in some cheap points. We're not defending some of these mistakes that we usually used to defend and just get on with. But that's just the thing. It is, guys. It's not that far away. Let's go through a few more chats, guys. We're a little bit behind now. There's a guy on the Bulldog for Life page that always says 6 of 20 win. Only comes out when we lose. Got absolutely humiliated on his post with facts. Won't mention his name, but can't send screenshots. That's all right, mate. One of the most blatant 50. Yeah.
Hey, send us some stuff, mate. Join us on Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever it is. Yeah. Send me some stuff.
One of the most blatant 50-50 bad calls we got against the Dolphins when Preston got sin-binned. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, a Manly player does the same thing against the Sharks and only gets a penalty, no sin bin. Yep. Lucas, $20 pay ID to Michael for the autism. Great cause. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it, Lucas.
I'll put it straight on, mate. Thank you.
Satilli, best season by far. Reason is if you had the best off-season for years, exactly, mate. He came in with no injuries. Keep going, brother. Best and fairest by the stretch of the Canterbury Road. Maybe Burwood Road at the moment, but yes, agree. Rewatch the first minute. Tavana knocks on Button's first kick, and that was let go.
Burton.
Burton's first kick. And guys, again, if you noticed, we had an offload in the first set. We were pushing guys. Came off Carraz in the middle of the field there.
Yep.
We can't buy a 50-50 Colt moment. You think it's time to have one referee challenge per half? We need it.
Just for the dogs.
Yeah. And I think, and also, I think it needs to reset if you get the golden point as well, guys.
I think it does.
Brian. Joshua, you have no idea. Curran, try, and the offsides to River is just 2, which wouldn't have had a different outcome. Let alone other bad calls. 100%, Brian.
Yep.
Yeah, I was there. Could not believe they wouldn't show the replays. The call-outs from the commentary on the ground was, and they were calling out as Birdo was getting ready to kick the goal and stuff like that. The loud music and everything. It was pretty poor taste, guys. Another one there, mate. Another $20 pay ID. Matt Warren, thank you, Matty.
Beautiful, mate.
Birdo was facing our line with the ball on his stomach. How could he lose it forward? Exactly, mate. Exactly. Are they working on technology for AI refs? Well, maybe that's the way to go, guys. That way we can't. That way, like the press conference is pretty easy, mate. We can then blame Claude. The Galvin booing the whole game was hard to hear. The Bulldog supporters in the area I was sitting went up with a Galvin chant at one stage. Yeah, it was. Yeah, there's a lot of Galvin, and it was good to see him get a try, guys, and shush them for a little bit. Boys, this is all get back at the tall poppy syndrome. They just want Gus. This is what all this negativity is about. Yeah.
Tony, now, I actually wrote an article about the tall poppy syndrome in rugby league, and it was more about Nathan Cleary and the attacks on him in the off-season. But it's definitely the truth, mate. They want Gus. That's all they fucking care about. You're 100% right. This is all about painting one person as a villain.
Yep.
The one thing I go back to, people say, oh, Gus is destroying everything. And I'm like, he's the one who basically come up with the framework to make things to a point where you're expecting us to be winning comps already. Like he did recruit those players at the end of the day. He did.
He doesn't do much during the week in regards to the team activity, guys. He doesn't talk to the players. He doesn't talk to the coaching staff in the training sessions. He's not doing what people think he's doing. He's not involved in the week. That's up to the coach and the coaching staff and everyone else there. Gus he watches. He'll go there and he'll sit there in the stands. And the other day he sat in his car and he was watching when it was raining. He'll do whatever he needs to do to have a look, but it doesn't mean he has to go and throw his 5 cents worth. So that's okay. Harsha, he loves. Koala's
He's reviewing
energy.
that coach. He's reviewing everyone while he's doing it.
That's right. Tuala's been on fire, guys. And if you noticed yesterday, a lot of times he actually would switch over and come into the centres and play one in as well. I saw that a lot out of him yesterday because that's where he has his best runs, because he actually can isolate and play off two people. When you've got just the sideline, sometimes it's good, but the way that he's effective at the moment is when he's got the options to basically show the ball outside as well and put his little swerve and step on. But I can definitely tell you guys, a lot of you would be overcome now with the initial, who's this Inari Tawala guy and why is he in the team? I'd struggle to find anyone at the moment who would say he doesn't belong in the Bulldogs squad. Definitely one of our most consistent players week in, week out.
He's got to be re-signed. I'll give you a little bit of an insight into Inari Tawala. He was at the North Queensland. He's actually born in Cairns, so he's a Queenslander. Samoan descent. And he was a North Queensland Cowboy. So he played for the Townsville Stingers in the Cyril Connell and Mal Meninga Cup sides. In 2014, Tawala represented the Queensland under-16 side. Scored a hat-trick in the Mal Meninga Cup Grand Final victory in 2015 and was later selected for the Queensland under-18s team. Later that year, he scored twice in Kerwin's ARL Schoolboy Cup Final victory over Patrician Brothers College, Blacktown. And in 2016, Tawala played for the Cowboys NYC side, scoring 12 tries in 15 games. And he was again selected for the Queensland under-18 side, but was later ruled out through injury. He was a really good junior. And the Dogs used to, Peter Moore used to get a lot of players from North Queensland back in the day. And he's one that's ended up at our club. I wasn't 100% excited. I used to look at him in the Newcastle back line and go, Inari's the weakest link, but he always did his job. He just runs hard. He defends really well in the centres too, I've found. He's hardly put a foot wrong. So I think if you don't know who Inari Tawala is, as Gaz said, you surely do now.
First 10 we were great. Then once we gave them an opportunity, went downhill. That's where we need to stop. We keep playing catch up. Yeah, buddy.
100%.
Yep. Did you hear Benji's press conference? He said they got lucky tonight. Yes.
Paulie. Hey, lads.
G'day, mate. Thought we were just unlucky to lose. We didn't ice the possession and the Tigers did. Yep. Tigers defended well in the last 10, deserved to win. If the Dragons can flip the Broncos, the Dogs can start going on a run. There you go. G'day, Bog Gita. Last week, team should be left alone.
Birdo played 3 minutes.
He should have been on the bench.
Let's keep going.
And Montoya couldn't play, mate, so we had to bring Critter in. I think Galvin could do with a spell out of the side for a week or two.
Well, he'll get a buy, and he'll get a buy after the Parramatta game.
Yep. Seeing Carras score his try gave me goosebumps. Yeah, that was awesome. Yep. And even at the end, guys, he was struggling to run, Carras. He was you could see towards the end there, he kept passing the ball. And then he actually called Critter and he waved him back. That was right in front of us, and Critter came back to fullback. He went in the centres. And then when they brought Jed Reardon onto the sideline and they came to take him off, he didn't want to go off. So they forced him off. They goes, no, you must come off. He was like, nah, he still wanted to stay up. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly what it was, but I'm hoping it was.
He was sucking in the pickle juice.
Correct. And he's spitting it out and drinking it. Yeah. But I'm hoping it's just cramp, but they ended up dragging him off. But
the ball was in play for a long period of time in that game. Like, it was actually a really good game of footy.
He almost did 300 meters, guys, and did a lot of stuff. And he would take 2 runs a set, guys, and get offloads. Like, he was just on fire again, guys. He was just on fire again. So
But there's
How
a
many
cost to that.
offloads?
He's doing
I don't know,
too
6
much.
offloads.
He's doing too much.
Yeah, and look, and that's the thing, guys. Sometimes when you're in that position and you're trying to get the result, like he did it last week and he got the result, he knows that when he plays in that fullback and he can get his hand on the ball, he's going to try. And don't forget, he's coming off. He was injured for a few weeks. Only played 2 games back now, so it's understandable that he's going to cop cramp or whatever he's got. Next week will be an interesting decision with obviously Tracy fit to play. We'll talk about that on Tuesday night and see what happens. But yeah, so that's 13 offloads in the last 2 weeks for Carraz, guys. Crazy stats. Carraz is awesome footy, but his target positional, it's one of those things, guys. No matter who plays at fullback, you just start to get a little bit of an idea of where you need to be, what you need to do. You get a feel for the game the more you do it. So, he's been, in the centres and on the wing for so long. Just needs to develop that feel for that as well. We won all the metrics except the scoreboard. Yep. Our attack is not great. Thank you. How are we going to compete with we did beat Penrith, mate, so we can do it when we put it together. That's the only game they've still lost this year, and with their whole team. Today they were missing Cleary and a few others. I thought our service from dummy half was poor. It actually got better when Hayward came on, guys.
Yeah, we said man service is terrible.
And look, we're missing. Look, Turpin not being there, giving us that buffer as well. I mean, man is not supposed to. He's not there to be a hooker, guys. He's only filling in. He's doing the best he can, but he's not there to be a hooker. We're just maybe now that we're losing those starts potentially. He might switch Hayward back on there and try to lock up the game a bit more in the middle, then balance out if he wants to bring someone else on during the game. But at the moment, I'm not saying it's man's fault. I'm just saying maybe we need to look at, that's 2 weeks in a row we've been 18-6 down and 16-0 down, that we need to start looking around that. Tawala is enormous, yes.
You can't drop Tawala.
Can't drop Koala. Yes, can't. Thank you, mate. Tawala is definite to re-sign, in my opinion. Thanks, Brian. We agree, buddy. Honestly, I feel like the Dogs win against Panthers might be the only loss Panthers ever suffer the whole season.
They'll lose again.
That's what they said before they played us, mate, and they lost. And they said the Dragons wouldn't win a game, especially not this week. And Payne Haas running over 200 metres, guys, in his first game back, still lost.
Oh, here we go.
That's all right, mate. Galvin's the best 7 at the club. Thank you, mate. That's 100% right. Go
watch New South Wales Cup in a slower game and tell me if we've got a better 7 right now. We don't. So,
yeah, I'm going to attempt to kick close to the line, but too much on it. Yeah. Alex, maybe in a year or two. Mitch Woods might be in a year or two. Well, all those injuries to Mitch Woods have thrown things out, exactly like Gus said, guys. When you've got plans and you try to do, you put someone in like Galvin, guys, to say, okay, we'll put him in there for now because we don't have anyone else ready, hoping that Mitch Woods does his progression, comes in, being delayed, so you end up sticking with the guy that you've got that's doing the job he can. That's just the way it is, guys. So you might have plans, but they don't always happen. They don't always work out. One thing I'll say about our halves is I'd like to see them engage a line and then spread it. Sometimes we're running too sideways and it's easier to defend against. That's some of the good halves are doing that. Although Birdo's more of a running half, he does run. He did try to pass yesterday, if you noticed, but he gave it a bit too late to, I think it was Leo Thompson, and it was a little bit too high as well. And he actually tried, because he tried to put it softly to him, and, he knows that we've been hitting those passes too hard. He tried the ball play there in the middle of the field and just threw it up too high. By the time he pulled it back down, guys, it was too late. Mick, are you attending the King's birthday clash like last year?
No, buddy.
Is that a big no?
Oh, shit, you're not even on the screen, Gas.
Oh, you got rid of me. It's all right, guys. You got rid of me, mate. It's all right, mate.
Oh, my God.
It's all right, guys. I think we know what that message means, guys. Overstayed, you're welcome.
I'll talk now.
Go for it, mate. You can keep going, mate.
We'll do some stats. Let's go through them quickly, guys.
All right.
So we ended up getting most of the possession, which makes people go, "Your attack shit," because you had more possession. You only scored 3 tries to 4. But we went over the trial and 5-6 times. I guess one was an intercept. 207 runs to 184. 38 from 45 isn't bad. 35 from 39 for the Tigers. And they were 94% in the first half. They dropped the ball once. 207 runs. We made 400 extra meters from the extra 16 runs, which is a pretty big, we're winning the average meter run big time there, 1900 to 1579. Post contact, they had some good post contact. Line break 6-4. Tackle breaks 56 to 39. Average set distance more. We kick further. They play the ball 3.41. No wonder ours was 3.57. So they could have had way more 6 agains, and they were deliberate. They were 6 agains that they wanted to get. The only one they probably didn't want to get was the 5th tackle one, where they just were all over the play the ball. Kicking 27 to 20, kicking meters 900 from them. Obviously, we had the better field position. We put up 11 bombs to their 7. No grubbers from us, as Gas pointed out. We made 352 tackles, missing 39, 56 for them. Similar ineffective tackles, 8 errors each. We conceded 6 penalties. I think 3 or 4 of their penalties were out of their own 10 to 20 meter line. They're down as 7 6 agains, which was from ruck infringements and inside the 10. And one of our guys was put on report, and we used all 8 interchanges, although I do feel, if there's any criticism, that we didn't use our last player until the last 3 minutes of the match. And I did feel that we used a lot of energy in that game, and the team could have done with an energy boost somewhat. And player stats. Now, that bald wanker who who is with the glasses, who gives shit to the Bulldogs, talking about Leo Thompson, 57 minutes, 13 runs. How many 41 tackles again. His tackling is immense for us at the moment. 2 missed. Satilli 34 on the edge. Jamin Salmon 29. How long did Salmon play for? He didn't play the full 80. 62. Harry 50. Now Harry Hayes just barely ran the footy. Funny that he's in the lock position, and Salmon criticised for not running the ball out of lock too often, although he has been this year. Harry plays 56 minutes, makes a shitload. It's average play the ball speed for Harry Hayes and Jamin Salmon. Fast yet again when they did run it. And 37 tackles, 7 missed for Harry. So he attempted a lot, which is what it's all about as well. Bailey with 29 in 50 minutes, 21 for Jack, throwing himself everywhere. Josh, 32 tackles, Josh Curran. And how long did he play for? 49 minutes. So he did very, very well, Josh Curran, through the middle of the field. 9 runs, 103 metres. Stephen Crichton, 13 runs, 139. 11 tackles, 4 missed. What was an Ari Tuala's stats? What do you have?
Had probably the second best running meters next to Carraz, I reckon.
260. So big day for Anari. He only had to make about 4 tackles, I think. So Carraz, 28 runs for 287. That's amazing. 1 line break, 2 line breaks for Tuala. Bronson, 11 runs. Apparently, Bronson only had 7 runs in the match at the 60-minute mark or something. But he went looking for the ball. He wasn't looking for the ball. Jethro, 16 tough carries. Not really getting an opportunity. Let's see the receipts. Let's see how much possession. Where's that? They got that here. Might be here. Here we go. Carraz, 37 touches, which is big. Burton, 49. I think he had 60 last week. Galvin, 83, which is about. We want Galvin having between 70 and 80, in my opinion, and Matt having between 50 and 60. I think that works better for us. 37 for Kurt. Bailey Hayward, 91, basically 91 touches from dummy half. And Bailey was actually doing a lot of that shape stuff that we needed to do to get some space for our halves. Probably goes back to a point, say Ed was saying, where the line engagements aren't the same. And as Gus and I were saying, like, it's one thing to give early ball to Burton and Cherry, but if they're just running it out there 1 out, without that running option of an edge back rower, it does make it makes it hard for them. Like, they got to break and beat the tackles. If West get their numbers right, just keep 4 on that edge on that short side. If they just, they can just match that up and get it done pretty much. And that's why they kept cutting back towards the middle. So what's up with the chats now? Is there anything else you wanted to point out from the stats, Gas, before we move forward?
Just their completions, obviously, like they were 89%, only four times they didn't complete, even though we had a few more sets, there's only 4 times. So that's very good from them on that side, starving us of the ball. So,
and they're off a bye.
And they're off a bye, so that's probably why they had the legs at the end of the game there, just to defend that. Even though they conceded 90 points in the previous 2 games before that.
And they got a 3.
They did get Appy Coruscant and Buller back, guys, and we all know when you've got your class players back in the team, it does make a difference, and it did for them.
When they're fit too.
Just a few comments here. So in reference before to the players not listening to us, if they are listening to the fans, they should get sacked.
That's it.
I'll still 100%. Tell them though.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, great to see more Dogs fans than Tigers fans. Still a disappointing crowd with 17,000, which was the same as match last year, which was pouring rain. Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of Bulldogs supporters there as well, guys. So it's good to see. It's not too far from our normal base.
Hey, but, yeah. Was the booing just the fans, or was it the?
Just there. There was a whole big section of Tigers fans that were booing. They were obviously all in the orange. They were just down to our right, and every time he got the ball up, they were just booing, and then others around from the Tigers were booing. But there were a lot in support of Galvin from the Blue and Whites, trying to cheer him on when they were offsetting that. Okay. But yeah, it was just kind of like what Ezra Mann feels like every round, guys. So that's probably what was happening.
And our fans keep doing that to him too, by the way. Need to stop.
Yeah. We are cursed at CommBank at the moment. Our record's not great. I think Dave pointed out down the bottom there, you can see 6 and 18 guys from 24 games, only 25%. I'm sure this was covered earlier, but last year's Premiers just lost to the Dragons. Let that sink in. Yes, we spoke about that. That's good for the Dragons, but not good for the Broncos. I don't really care. Our attack is poor and it's on the spine. And Connor Tracy is the senior spine player.
He's not the senior spine player. Matt Burton is.
Yeah.
Matt Burton's played more games, even though he's younger, and he's also on more money. double what Tracy's on.
They're the ones who'll be getting the brunt of it. Okay. Yep, he wants you to sign Herbie Farnworth as well, mate. I'd like to see us stay with the same side, but Tracy might come back into fullback this week. As long as he's fully fit, guys, that's the key, because we need him to be fully fit to give, his level of game that he plays.
He needs to be fully fit. Yeah.
Why do we keep losing to the Tigers? Well, we've lost the last two, but we actually had a good run against them before that, guys. So
we said at the start of the year, guys, we said we're the hunted now.
Yes.
We're the hunted from the teams that we've bullied the last couple of years, getting our game on. And funnily enough, we've beaten sides we haven't been able to beat. Except for the Drags, which we only just beat. Before we beat Canberra the last two games, which were both close, close wins, we had to win a close game yet again. Like, it's always close with Canberra, and they were dominating us for years, and then we've got the last three in a row. So, and it's all been hard fought.
G'day, Darren. I really thought against the Tigers there were far more positives than negatives. When you have a high-intensity match where both sides are ripping in, win or lose, it's always a massive positive. Yeah, mate. It's just we'd like it to be turning around a bit more and coming on our side a bit more positive, hopefully. Burden doesn't need to organise, mate. He needs to be that destructive guy that comes out there and plays his game, guys. That's what we want from him. That's why he was playing in the number one game in the NRL, guys, or in the game. He was playing in Origin. There's a reason why he's in that level, guys, irrespective of why he got picked. You just need that play from him. Didn't realise how much Michael Ennis hated us before his commentary during the game. Hurt to hear, to be honest. I'm not sure. I didn't listen to the commentary at the game, so maybe, Michael, was that something you heard or not sure?
Yeah. I was. That's what I was talking about before with Vossi, and I was talking meant Vossi and Ennis. And as we've talked about with his absolute failure to remember his own career as a hooker, and own progression, but just to play into the narrative, and that's all he's doing. He cares more about his career than the Bulldogs. I'll tell you that much. And his career right now is to look. If he goes in as an assistant coach, do you think he's sitting there saying Bailey Hayward can't do the fucking job? Of course not. Nor would he expect him to be a hardened, seasoned, tough hooker at this stage of his career. Now, I understand people saying, well, why did we go to that when obviously it wasn't going to get us to finals and stuff? Well, we went pretty close against some good sides, except for that Penrith when it was just one game too many with too many injured players. But let this guy develop. And he's having a good mix of starting, getting that seasoning, getting that toughness. He plays with plenty of heart. Like the crap that he's getting is disgraceful.
And guys, to understand what Mike was trying to say, when I had a look at Ennis's stats, in his first bunch of games, he played 38 of them off the bench. So he keeps talking about hookers coming into the game and he thinks they're first grade ready, hit the ground running. He forgets that he played 38 games off the bench and they were a mixture of lock and hooker and everything else. So he wasn't the finished product when he arrived. So he conveniently doesn't mention any of that because to him, he's now the seasoned hooker, even though he was the absolute biggest pest in the game, no matter which team he played for. That was his strategy of getting under your skin. And again, he conveniently forgets that as well. But for those who think, yes, he's an ex-Bulldog, but you know what? This guy played for so many teams that there are no ex to him. To him, he will focus on what he knows, and that's hookers. The other day, he was basically frothing over Brayley for the Sharks because that's one of the teams that he won a premiership with until he basically got him gone with a broken arm. But he was going on and on and on and on. But that's all he knows, guys. So he'll do that to everyone. But if you're going to look at it from his perspective, Bailey Hayward to him is not a hooker, right? Fair enough. Come in from lock, 5'8", whatever he's done. So he wants to support the hooker brethren, Paul Marnie, all these other guys that are proper hookers that someone's come in and taken their job. That's what he's looking at it from. That's why
he wasn't a proper hooker, though.
Sorry?
He wasn't always a proper hooker. He played half and 5'8" in a bunch of positions. He was a halfback coming through.
He doesn't remember that, mate. That's selective memory. So,
but he's gritty and tough and he's hard. Like he's a you need a lot of heart to play that position.
Yeah,
it's the toughest. That and fullback and I'd say in both halves now they find it that with the amount of defence they got to get through these days, they're not sitting behind the line like they used to. It's tough out there. Each position has its tough days, and
Amir's saying the better team lost. So sick of it. Yep. No former player hates us. They all love us. They're in group chats together there. That's just, but guys, when they get themselves in the media, guys, in front of the cameras and the microphones, they will say whatever's going to give them the most love to them. That's or generate the most noise. Doesn't matter who they support. That's what they do, guys. Brayton Astor won a premiership with us, yet he still talks because he just wants to create narratives. That's it, and support them.
He wears his Rooster jersey at home more than his dog jersey. Sorry, the truth. Yeah.
Imagine being 20 years old and have every time you touch the ball, the whole stadium boos. I love Galvin. He's going to be great. Galvin's going to be one of our greatest ever. Bulldogs versus Para Monday. Yes, guys, can't wait. King's birthday. He'll put on another 5 kilos of muscle, and he's a footy genius. There'll be a time in future when Galvin is ripping sides apart. Yep, can't wait for that, guys. We will get revenge against the Tigers round 20 when Kikau comes back, hopefully. It ends their top 8 chances as well. Maybe we'll take that spot too, guys. We can probably afford to lose 2 more games anymore, and we miss the 8.
Probably.
Yeah, just keep winning, guys. Keep winning, hopefully. Brisbane has lost 4 in a row. Not much talk on that, but with the Doggies, the talk never stops. Yeah, I don't know. Mike, you're in Brisbane. What's the talk like in Brisbane, mate? About the Broncos?
Madge come down on the sideline today. And they got 3 or 4 tries in the last 12 minutes. Got it close.
But on the last 4 weeks, what's the talk on the media and the radio? What's happening over there your way?
Well, there was a lot of talk at the start of the season. That I believe that there was a concerted effort by the owners of the Broncos and the media to bring down the coach. And it was based off issue. Yeah, they were going on about. It was the only time I've really defended the Broncos because I feel that they get a lot of stuff their way. That they don't really do well in afternoon games of rugby league. They win a lot of Friday night matches though. What they had to do against us after they beat the Tigers, who completed at 90% against them, I thought was a phenomenal effort by their forward pack, especially without Huss and without Carrigan, without Ben Hunt. But that took a lot out of those guys, and they've sort of been holding on.
Haven't won a game since they beat us.
No, and then what happened is they've had those players come back. Huss may have come back a bit early. Ben Hunt's back now. They've got some troops back into their squad, but they lost to a Dragon side who's, it's rugby league. These things happen. The Bulldogs in 2020, 2021 shouldn't have beat anyone, but they did. They won matches. I went back to 2023 after we beat in 2022. We beat the Cowboys round 1, should have won round 2, should have won round 3, got flogged in round 4 against Melbourne. Lost 6 in a row. They were all blaming Gus. Gus had to come talk. Gus was then at training. Sorry, knocked my glass over. Gus was down at the training. All that talk. Gus at training again, and then we beat the Roosters that week. in press conferences that week, Gus said we're going to be, give it 5 or 6 years from 2023. We'll have a lot of our juniors will be producing NRL players from our junior systems consistently, and they'll be ready to play NRL when they get there. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to have everything feeding into that. That's what we're going to work on. So by 2028, we'll have juniors ready. He's never talked about winning a premiership in 5 years. So, look, these things happen, guys. The Dragons won a game. Gus did a review for the Dragons, I think, maybe in 2020, 21, something like that. I think the Dogs might have smashed them in the last round. Or there's a couple of things that happened. Maybe when Mary McGregor was losing his job. No, or a bit before then. He was asked to do a review, did the review, and they ignored it. And now they're in the position they're in. They've still got a lot of good juniors, and they've gone out, and their cap's somehow been able to afford all these great players, which is probably where this guy at the start of the thing, where a lot of people ask questions, because they'll go, well, how can they go and buy Drinkwater, who only defends, 1/10 of the year, does good defense, always getting smashed by their fans when they lose their matches. They blame Drinkwater. Who else have they got? They've got Metcalf coming. They've got who else?
From the Rabbitohs, Kalamatangi.
So, the Dogs.
Apparently they're gonna bring Connor Watson for 1 year in his gap year before he goes to PNG.
And Damien Cook will leave, and they'll probably try and sign a big hooker, or hope that Little is sort of cranking by then as a starting type player.
And that's a big loss. That's been a big loss for them as well, Little.
Yeah. But I look at their team on paper and I see a lot of balance. I see some really good players, a lot of strength. They've got Valentine Holmes. They've got Clint Gutherson. They've got Damien Cook. They've got some really good young forwards who have been developed. They could have been a top 8 team. Oh, they got Flanagan. Like, Atkinson is a good player, but he was always going to need a couple of seasons to get ready. King Tonga, their blood, is going to need a little while. Jack Reed will need a couple of 2 or 3 years.
Cade Reed, yeah.
Cade Reed, sorry. Jack Reed. Broncos center. But yeah, they've recruited some good players. And I think as Dogs fans, we're sort of used to that. If we have a bad year, just go and buy 5 players and it'll all be fixed. But it's not like that anymore, guys.
Let's keep moving on. Safe to say that Carraz is close to an elite player. I think he's already there, mate. He's getting better and better. Does anyone know if Carraz is injured? And if not, do you think he'll play fullback this week? Looks like just cramp, hopefully, but who knows what they're going to do this week, guys. So you need to find your best combo. Let's see what happens.
Oh, g'day, Giuseppe.
G'day, mate. Tuala's been one of the most consistent, solid outside backs this year. His play at the end of the game gave us a chance to win it. Yeah,
good call.
Doing that all season when he's been out there. Anthony McAuliffe, we may be better sitting with Curran on the left edge. That way we can leave Salmon at lock and keep the impact with Hayes off the bench.
I actually thought they were going to do that, mate.
Pretty much as well predicted, guys. I only said what I said about Salmon staying there because I just felt like I didn't think Serraldo was going to make that change, and he didn't. That's why I said that. I just felt like he was going to stick with what he felt like worked for him towards the end of that game and see if he can make that work. But he may rethink that now that he on balance. So, but yeah, I'm only calling on what I think he's going to do based on all the talk and all the sort of things that plan out.
If you can get a ascendancy in the ruck and not have teams just lay all over and get away with it.
Yeah, Tuala's been the best. I think Tilly's been the most consistent player, dynamic wise all year, and If you want to go backs and forwards, then definitely those two have been our best players. Gus's comments on TV about everything NRL, every NRL team's players, ref said, no wonder we're not getting the rub of the green.
We weren't getting it before Gus come along, though, to be honest.
Doesn't make a difference, guys. Makes no difference. Our next and last combat game this year is against Penrith in round 26, unless we play at Combat in the finals. Yep.
Thank you, McCall.
Smell, I think, could be in trouble over Preston and Burton. Oh, yeah.
Smell my finger, Meninga.
Yeah, guys.
Love it, James.
Yeah. So, obviously, guys, if you haven't heard, so Meninga mentioned that obviously players that he's targeting for Perth. So, he's talking about Preston, he's talking about Galvin, he's talking about Cleary, he's talking about all these players. But that's exactly what he's not supposed to be doing for players that are on contract, which they introduced last year after Gus had the same, thing that he spoke about Galvin, technically thinking that people are saying he's courting him. So the Bulldogs, not Gus, the Bulldogs have put a complaint in to the NRL about Mal Meninga's comments to basically protect the players, because both Birdo and sort of Presto are very important people to the Bulldogs, and they want them to stay and they want to keep them. So interesting stuff there. There's a bit of rumor that Carraz and Galvin doesn't like. That's bullshit comment, mate. Someone created and put it out there. So don't believe that, mate. Everyone knows who this person is and the rumors they've started. So just ignore that, mate. They will make you believe that it's real. They will write a lot of stuff around it and say that it's from this source and that source and whatever. Just ignore it, guys. James, I was wondering if anything would come from Mel's comments. Yeah, it looks like something will come back to them. They are, even though he's a protected species and he works with the NRL, he will have something come his way. They'll have to tell him to tone it down. People need to remember that Galvin is only 20 and 50 games in his career. Let him grow into a 7 and he will be great. Give the guy a break. Yes. Galvin, one of the Bulldogs' best as well. Yes. Our biggest problem is our halves taking runs on 3rd and 4th every time we attack in the 20. Galvin never seems to get the back line set and takes too many hit-ups.
Well, he's been taking a lot fewer in the last few matches.
Run first mentality is great until it's not. Dogs are a big club. How come you say players don't want to join?
Well, it comes down. Well, how many people live in the Bankstown area?
Even our players don't.
Our players don't live there.
They live in the Shire. They live everywhere else. Yeah.
And part of that reason is, they talk about Canberra as a place that players don't want to live, which is bullshit. It's full of working people. It's got a lot of, it's it's very good it's a good place to raise your kids and stuff. Like it's got a lot of public servants living there on good money, and they demand good facilities and good this and that. The Bulldogs are a multicultural area, and it's great. And I love going back into the area, going to the Leagues Club. I get shivers up my spine, it makes my day. It's something I always loved. Love the smell walking around late at night, the smell of the Lebanese bakeries and stuff, cooking the food for the morning. But that's not everyone's cup of tea, especially coming from other areas. It's you either love it or you don't. And it's also the pressure, the access that the Bulldogs public get to our players is probably a lot bigger than some of the other areas. Like we go up to them in the street. They like is it hard to know where the Bulldogs players are and where to meet them, Gas?
No.
What about South? South, I know they go to train at Redfern and stuff like that, and they have a lot of fan days. And
no, they're not even at Redfern. They're at Heffron now. Not even at Redfern.
They're at Heffron now. Yeah.
They train at the same ground. They are probably the easiest team, because you can go there and have a coffee and sit there in their cafe, and the players come and sit there with you and have a coffee as well at the Rabbitohs, and then you can go out the back and watch them train at their field. So that they're probably the easiest ones to sit and mingle with. They've got the community sort of area with their centre of excellence there. But the Bulldogs are very open as well. Sorry?
It's easy to access.
Easy to access, plenty of parking. Yep.
What about and when I say players don't want to come, the Bulldogs just aren't everyone's cup of tea, and our fan base is fucking mental.
Yeah.
We have the best and the worst fans.
This is not helping us recruit players. Everyone's current mindset and vigilance on our results. This is not helping players if they go, you know what, I want to go play for the Bulldogs. This is not helping.
People have never done a push-up in their fucking life. Walk up to our players and tell them how shit they are.
Yeah.
I know that's rugby league, but it's yeah. We just got a bad rep.
The better team lost on the day. Yes. Burton does need to organise and set up his backs. He can't just be a one-dimensional player and run.
He needs to be able to do that sometimes, and I felt he was doing that a little. He was getting his hands on the ball, doing some inside balls for his players against the Storm. Yeah, did a bit of playmaking.
Yeah,
it was off the back of momentum.
British Bulldog. We look better with Montoya back. We look better with Carraz back. We look better with Hayward on the field versus Tigers. The Boo Boys got to be careful what they wish for when they celebrate outs.
That's it. Oh, I get it all the time. Yay, Montoya's not playing. Yay.
Yeah.
When they're carrying injuries because there's no depth, the depth's not ready, they make mistakes. It's just part of the deal.
And Cireldo mentioned again, guys, very, very proud of the team, how tough they are, playing a lot of players playing injured and still having to go out there. I mean, we don't see it, guys, but they see it. They know who's suffering. They know who the doctors come and say, listen, if you can rest him, you should because he's not. But the player's like, no, I'm good. I want to go. I want to go. And that's what happens, guys. It's like a lot of these things. Timmy's asking our 2-try hero, Kate Dykes, what did you make of him today?
Yeah, he's quite good. Off the back of some stuff, I might get some clips on the line.
How short are we of the target, mate? How close are we?
We're actually got a little bit wrong. We're on 1,441.
So we had 90. We had 90 today, 50 off Super Chat and 40 off Pay ID. So what does that leave us?
Well, 50 off Super Chat. That's not all going.
That's what I'm asking. So what? So you're saying 20, 60. So what do you got left? So if you count that as 60, what have you got left? What do we need?
We're pretty much nearly there. So,
all right.
Just keep throwing it in, guys, if you can. People come in here, say a lot. Not the same people are here all the time, but if you come in, you want to support autism, throw a Super Chat our way, guys.
Yep.
And you go into the draw to win a Bulldogs jersey as well.
Now, guys, every $5 that someone contributes, guys, gives you another entry into the jersey giveaway, which is happening in 2 days' time, guys. We're giving away a 2026 Bulldogs jersey, and it could be this new black one if you want as well, guys. How good is this new jersey? Absolutely love it. This is probably actually one of my best jerseys I've ever had, to be honest. Absolutely love it. The fit, the feel of it, the look of it, love it. And if you're a heavy set person, the black always makes you look a bit skinnier, guys. Just a tip for the big fellas out there. So just need to watch the food a bit, guys, and do a bit more exercise.
That's it, bro. Well, I'm going to show a couple of clips from the first half team. Let's go.
Dykes into dummy half. And Spinks with the dummy. And Spinks with the ball around the corner. That's pretty sharp stuff. Dykes is in again.
We're down 12.
And the Bulldogs have pondered dogs.
Got it back.
Dykes into dummy half. And Spinks with the dummy. And Spinks might have been on.
That pass.
Another one up.
Might have been on. Last tackle.
tackle.
Conti again. Back inside. Short ball to Dykes. Lovely bit of football. Dogs next to the post.
Silatini featured in all these.
Might have been
he actually
on.
made the
last tackle. Conti again. Back inside.
We just defended 3 sets in a row. We're down 12-4. So Silatini makes a break, runs about 40 metres to get us onto their try line, basically. And Conti, nice inside ball to Dykes. Conti had a much better game than he had the week before. I felt O'Sullivan did a lot of running to the line and then sort of not knowing what to do after that. He was like he's trying to get going. He's trying to make things happen, but just wasn't. That threw some nice short balls, but this was a really nice try. There's no commentary on this one, so I just have to get it up. So you got Chen Kung Tong onto O'Sullivan, nice ball to Alatini, who gets the beautiful pass away to Sewer, and that was our first try of the game.
A lot of effort there. A lot of effort Sewer had to perform there.
It was all from Sasai Alatini. Beautiful ball.
At least he advanced. The conversion. That's good. Good.
Well, Jonathan Sewer in New South Wales Cup, he puts in a lot of effort.
He does stand above them actually.
I think he put in a lot of effort.
Conti again, back inside, short ball to Dykes, lovely, might have been on. Last bit of football. Dogs next to the.
What am I doing? Sorry, guys.
Pull it together.
I'm going to stop sharing that now. Oh, hello. Let's get us back up like this.
There you go.
So, look, John O'Sullivan, I felt the only thing missing from his game in NRL was a little bit of confidence to throw a ball, do some offloads with some intent that way. Whether he was told to do it or not. But it's funny because as soon as he went back to New South Wales Cup last week, one of the first things he did was offload.
Yep.
I love the fact Jethro did that in our game.
Yep.
Yesterday. Really love that play.
I've only got one thing I've noticed with Jethro that I think he needs to work on. I don't know if anyone else has noticed it. When he goes and takes a hit up, he gets himself very, very low. So when he's taking a hit up out of yardage, he gets himself very low and he's easy meat. He's easily tackled. He's not. But when he actually runs and he's trying to be evasive, he's very evasive. You can't get a hand on him. I think he tries to be too safe and get down and get the ball protected and get into the tackle coming out of yardage. But when he wants to run and he keeps himself more upright and he tries to use his fend or whatever, he's a lot more damaging as a runner. Just needs to find that balance. I'm finding he's just giving away some very easy tackle opportunities and not being. I think if they sort of let him go, you'd almost feel like he's just going to fall flat on his face. That's how low he's getting. He's just maybe have a look at it. I just was seeing it for a few times last week. Then I focused on it a bit more yesterday at the game, and I'm like, yeah. Every time he's got the ball, he just starts to get really low coming into the defense, coming out of yardage. So maybe if it's just me or if somebody has a look as well, I'm going to have another look through it and try to see it in more detail and see what I was talking about. But there was a couple of times late in the game when he was trying to run and step, and he was dangerous. You couldn't get a hand on him. So just Jag, welcome. Dragons finally have won a game. Yes, was it 296 days? Somebody put it in perspective today. The last time the Dragons won, there was that video in America at the Coldplay concert of the guy holding the girl. So that's how long ago that was, guys, when the Dragons last won a game.
I like this next comment. Not a good week to be a Queenslander. New South Wales won game one of men's origin. Clean sweep in the women's origin. Broncos lost. Cowboys lost. Queensland just don't get rugby league. No, they don't. Go the Blues.
Go the Blues.
Oh, mate, buy grand final tickets, bro.
That's
Yep. Philip Tummy was the other signing. And
yeah.
look, Philip plays with a lot of intent and a lot of heart. And being a big toiler. And I'm sure he's not on. You'd hope he's not on big money.
Does that mean they're going to let go of Sloan? Because every time someone tries to sign him up, they keep holding him. Yet he's only used sparingly still.
Yeah, I don't know about Sloan.
Remember when last year at the end of the season there was talk of him being disgruntled, and then as soon as they heard the Dogs might sign him, for example, no, he's not going anywhere, and they tucked him back in again. So, but then they don't use him. So.
He's the type of player though. Like you sign him and we're playing well, we win games. It's a great signing. We get to go and we lose.
Like Montoya.
Terrible fucking signing, you know. Who signed him? We need an explanation. We need an emergency general meeting to discuss these signings.
Yeah. Timmy, what are you on about? Timmy, what sauce? Tomato barbecue.
Your sauces.
Sorry? If I had a preference, it'd be barbecue, Timmy, if you're asking, but not sure what I missed there, mate.
I don't know. He only went there this week, Timmy.
Yeah. Give him a chance. Give him a chance, Timmy. Give him a chance to settle in, mate.
I've got to watch our juniors before I watch Super League. I know that Deep Dive with Dave watches a lot of Super League, and he's one that I need to get on here and ask about. Are there any players over there that would look all right in Dogs colours?
Anthony McCullough is saying loves only criticism of the show is Cherry's pronounced Sherry, not Cherry, but love the show. Well, if that's the case, mate, from now on it's Bronson, okay? Thank you. He can deal with it.
Xeri.
Xeri. There you go.
Oh, if that's the only criticism. Well, last week I did a clip and Gas read someone wrote DCF instead of DSF. Yeah. And Gas has gone, with DCF leaving, who are we going to give the next spot to? And all people, it got heaps of views and that because people were like, oh, who's DCF? It's DSF. It's like, who cares? Who cares?
And it comes back down to the next comment you're about to read. Tell you, this is why those comments come out. People don't want to come to the Dogs and deal with them because our fans are bipolar. There you go. There you go.
Love and hate.
Matty Warren, a lot of our fans are hypocrites. They'll put shit on the team on all the socials, but they'll be lining up to get their merch signed on Tuesday and brown-nosing them.
Yep. I actually said that to a bloke, Matty, who does his videos after every loss and 2 or 3 in a row, and it's Gus. I never wanted Gus Gould to come to the club. I told Gus because he accused me of talking about him on my show, and I've never talked about him till he accused me of it. And he's blocked me now because I just gave it to him. I'm like, you don't get to speak for Peter Bullfrog more. You know.
Yeah.
You don't get to do this shit. But for him to sit there after a loss and draw a link to Phil Gould every time, I never wanted him at the club. He hates the Bulldogs, blah, blah, blah. He's got all these little posses that listen to him when we lose. But then every time we win, well done by the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. You know, happy every win, every loss. Can't just accept it like a man does. But you'll be funny. You'll post photos of him getting all the signatures from the players, and you had another mate on there, another crazy guy, fucking getting a photo and getting signatures of all the players, talking to them, blah blah blah. But then as soon as we start losing, jabroni this, jabroni that. You know, what's jabroni mean? Gas?
Jabroni.
jabroni. He calls them jabronis. He's from Lebanon. He's not from. His parents are from Lebanon. He's an Australian. Speaks the two languages really well.
It must be something slightly close to another word that jabroni. I don't know. Not sure.
You're not sure? Okay.
I'm not sure exactly, unless I'm missing a context somewhere. But I'm not sure.
He'd say it in a negative fashion. But anyway, I'm just saying that there's all these bloody people out there. They exactly what Matty was saying, that they're happy to get all the photos and expect everything from the players and the club, but then hanging shit on their mates as soon as something goes wrong. And what I mean by mates, like that, they'll go and get a photo of Critter, but then start hanging shit on his good mate, Tracy or whoever else.
I think All Things Bulldogs song is stuck in his head. Poor Mike. What have we done there, mate?
It gets stuck in your head, man. G-Day Doggies fans.
It's funny, guys. You all a lot of you hang back listening to it's just catchy. Just watching it, listening to it. Here's another 20 for you, mate. Thanks, Brian. Some more support there. Mini Rod, agree on Jethro. I feel like we play too safe in general. Why don't we ever compete for a high ball either? I think we need to take more risks and stop trying to play high percentage all the time.
I think we have competed the last couple of weeks.
A lot more. Yeah.
We said this after the Sharks game. The difference between us and a flogging is, or these moments, is the intent in contested possessions for the ball, which I know it's an AFL term, but that's what it is. Putting the ball up and competing for it. Some good Bulldogs fans have talked about it for a couple of years, actually. Why do we always kick and then to tackle the player? Why aren't we going up to catch the ball? Especially now with if you're trying to score a try to catch a ball, it's not a 7-tackle set over the line.
Yeah.
There should be more. But I felt since Carraz has got there and coming back and obviously got over the initial preseason injury that he got late in the preseason just before Vegas, that was impacting his ability to play a lot more than the MCL injury, which MCL's 4 to 6 weeks, they're back. They tend to go all right. They don't tend to get them. They're a very deliberate type of certain thing happens in the mechanism of the knee when they don't. An MCL just doesn't happen. It's due to a certain pressure or way you step or whatever like that, where it ends up. Whereas an ACL can just pop, an Achilles can just pop. They can just be running and it goes. Like it's one of those things. The body breaks down, but I just found that Carraz, that intent to catch the ball has been there. I feel that he is going for it. And I felt that with Rinakama, it was just well done because he was up in the line and then he's retreating backwards and the other guy's going forwards and was just able to out-jump him. Simple as that. It's not that he didn't go for the ball. Even when Milky Jenkins went over the back of Montoya in hindsight, knock it dead, mate. But he jumped to catch it.
Correct.
He just got out. So I feel they've recognised that is what I'm saying. It was definitely an issue earlier, but I think we're starting to see that start to improve. And the fact we did how many offloads against Melbourne and how many offloads?
7-6. 7-6, 13 total. 7 against the Storm, 6 against the Tigers.
Oh, that's just Carraz. How many for the team? We had 17
and 13, so 30.
30 in 2 weeks is pretty big.
Yep.
And that's our game, guys. That's our game. We've been talking about it all year, but that's our game.
Yep. Second phase. There's some more context here about Jabroni. So apparently it was something The Rock used as an insult when he was wrestling.
There you go.
So to further on that, I had a quick look. So basically it's a loser or someone not to be taken seriously. They said recently it's been used humorously and not taken as a serious insult. So
there you go. It's maybe
don't
not as
listen to
bad
that
as I thought.
jabroni. He acted like a total jabroni. That's the context of it. So thanks.
That's all right.
Maddie.
That's not too bad then. I've
That's all right.
probably taken too much offence to something I shouldn't have.
That's
too
all right,
entitled.
Reece Martin going to the PNG Chiefs. I don't think he's going as a player though, Timmy. Mike Cool, like it when Mick sings to us, but I agree the All Things Bulldogs podcast song is catchy.
Talking dogs tonight. Dogfather and Gas. Blue and white pride.
At least the Swans won yesterday. Yeah, Timmy, that's the only thing, mate. Well, thankfully, we were able to watch that before the other game while we were on our way to the to Combank. But I think the poor Richmond team was still counting their chooks there. It wasn't a very good game. It was a record score, 170 points, guys. It was a massive. Abs Kebabs, welcome. Huge fan of the Bulldogs. Welcome, Abs. Is that a dog picture? What's that picture there? Is that just me or?
The dog smoking a cigarette. It's the Dogfather, the real Dogfather, right there.
The real Dogfather. There you go. Yeah, we don't seem to get to see enough from other players. Critter, Cherry, Winnacombe will be a great target too. Why aren't we kicking to him? I think yesterday I felt like, if you remember, guys, there was the kick Galvin had in the first half where he kicked it across field. I felt like that was a great opportunity to kick it to the corner. They did that one that's just past the post, that shorter kick. I think we needed to put that higher one up further and make it more of a contest. That one there, I think it ended up being caught in the in-goal area, and they got a 7-tackle set out of that one that he put in. But we needed to kick that one deeper and give a chance, because look at Critter, guys. He can get that height, he can get that jump, and so's Tawala can also get up there as well, AFL style. So, but yeah, I think we missed a few chances like that, but it's okay. Timmy's on the concert still. Dogfather concert. Yeah, mate.
I feel that Bronson Cherry doesn't really. He gets a bit timid in these situations.
Yep. Look, Cherry, for all his good running that he can do, does have a lot of areas that he needs to work on. And we spoke about that in the off-season. We spoke about that after Vegas. Before he got dropped, I will add. And obviously, you can always go back to those podcasts. They're still there. But he does have a lot of room for improvement. The best options he gives when he's running and passing is the ones where he's doing the tap-ons. That's his best. But when he's actually got the ball in his hand and he's running with it, he's very one-dimensional, guys. He just keeps trying to step and swerve, and bump. He doesn't look to try to, find someone in a gap and position them and put them away. That's where he's got areas where he can improve, guys. So at least now he's running a bit more direct, where he was running a lot more sort of, he's got that famous move like the one he did against the Roosters last year, guys, where he steps back in off the left, which helps him when he's on the left-hand side, which is why he probably hated being on the right, because it works against his running style. When he does that step in, trying to straighten back up, when like the one he scored under the post there. So, got anything else, mate? We're done on chats. We're all good.
I think you got to the $100 today, so you should get a T-shirt, Gas, on your.
And Dave, I did. Yeah. Got a message there, mate. Thank you for that. Yep.
Dave should get his T-shirt.
Yep.
Walk for Autism shirt. So we can wear that next year, even if we're not doing the
that's it,
raising money. We can still wear it around and promote it. And look, we'll take a break from the charity stuff for a bit. I'm going to keep walking though. So
yeah, I'm going to keep walking as well, man. I'm not going to stop.
We're going to walk for super chats to get healthier and fitter and be good for our families.
I've got well over 323,000 steps already, and I've got a few more steps to do tonight. So I think our target was 217. So
yeah, we've done well.
Yeah. So
So look,
Maddie's
guys,
saying,
I'll
sorry,
get that up to the $1,500 with the extra money we've got tonight.
beautiful. Target reached.
$110 raised tonight. About 20-30 comes out of that for taxes. And we'll get it up to the meaning we've reached our goal. Thank you very much, guys. It'll be $1,500. I'll post that out. I'll post that on the Dogfather at Facebook and everything tomorrow, and do a big shout out and thank you. Some of you put in big donations like $100, $200 over the thing. Some even more over the course of the month just through your contributions.
Thanks to the anonymous who chipped in today as well.
And remember, guys, and thank you to, I think we had 5 or 6 people upgraded to the Dogfather last weekend.
Yep.
On the $10 a month, which means that you automatically go into some of these draws and stuff, which is brilliant, as well as really, I think there's some rules with YouTube and that you can't say that sort of stuff, but we'll take care of the people who pay the Dogfather. Now, with the Dogfather cartel, which is a $15 one, there's a merch pack that's given. I would basically give people about 5 or 6 months on that before I put that together, but I will be putting one together for Scary 79 because he's actually been a family member for 12 months straight, every single month been contributing. So thanks to everyone who's been for 12 months or longer been donating through being joining and helping contribute, whether it's the $1.50 or whether it's the $5 or the $10 or whatever else, and as well as all the super chats. We really appreciate that support.
It's called dog therapy, as Maddie's saying there. Love the Sunday potty. It's a celebration of joy when we win and a therapy session I need after a loss. And that's how you got to treat the donut, guys. It's all therapy. It's all there to make us feel better, irrespective when we've won or lost. That's what we're here to help you with. So if that helps you feel better about parting with your hard earned, and it's all just therapy, and you're just giving it to a good cause, then so be it, guys. You're getting the return on it as well. So thanks for your support.
The thing with the Dogfather membership fee as well is that, look, I get sometimes in a week I might get 100 and 150 messages from about 20, 30, 40 people sometimes. But what I'm sort of starting to do is sort of go, I'm going to talk about that in the podcast. But for people who are paying the extra money, guys, it's open season for me. Like, I'm happy to talk to you guys, let you know a few other little things that I hear or whatever, because it's about trust. And that trust is earned, obviously, and that's not going to get to everyone because, your reputation's got to go on these things. And that trust is built up over months and months and for some of his years. But yeah, it's like when part of that is you get a call from the Dogfather. Well, you could call me, I can talk to you, we can chat through the text, through whatever else, it's very much appreciated. But not everyone can afford to do that, and I still have mates through this community where we do chat and stuff. But what I'm saying is that the therapy thing it's for me as well, but it's also for a lot of you guys. It is true where we bounce things off each other and ask questions, and what do you think's going to happen here and going to happen there? Happy to do all that, but there's probably 20 or 30 people I'm just getting random stuff coming all the time. What's going on here? What's going on there? It's like, watch the podcast and find out. But you guys know who you are. That we can chat anytime, and it's even better when you're contributing so much to the community as well. Help pay for a couple of things. Gas doesn't get much out of it. I think he's got his pink shirt and couple of things like that. But as far as like money and that sort of thing, but if we keep making money, we can keep doing little things like that. Because what else would Gas want to buy other than Bulldog stuff? So
yeah, and look, this is I'm looking at the 50th coming up in a few months. I'm like, all I want is dogs gear, guys. That's it.
well, we'll have to get something organised for Gas. It'll be the month of Gas for his 50th.
August can't come fast enough.
Well, hopefully
there's one thing I want. There's one thing I want, guys. It's very easy. I want to be playing finals, guys. That's not too much to ask for, is it? Surely. That's all I want. It's like all I want for Christmas, guys. All I want for this is to play finals, guys.
It'd be sort of nice if we get to 4 weeks out. If the Dogs win 2 of their last 4, they'll be in the finals. That'd be good. At least that'd be something.
Yeah.
People could say what they want. Yeah, they go. There's so many dickheads out there. It's like they leave receipts in my mind with the shit that they say.
Brian agrees with Bronson. Greg Bronson doesn't chase the kicks, which causes Jethro to hang back and not be ready to chase kicks through the line. Timmy loves the Sunday sesh. Well done, Timmy.
Hey, Timmy.
Push-up challenge. That's not happening. There's more chance for me doing the sit-up challenge, but not the push-up challenge.
Only if you do it, Timmy, and not on your knees either, brother. Proper man ones.
Get the season started again on the King's birthday. That's it. Imagine Prem doesn't lose another game till we make a final run to the grand final, and it's an absolute thriller. One could dream. Yes, that's it.
1995. Let's do it.
Thanks, mate. Dirty. Yeah, I like this guy. Yeah, the Dragons. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Timmy. Coming around fast, mate. Yeah, love the jersey, mate. Love the new jersey, mate. Love the material. Feels really good. And they've done all the stitching properly, guys, on all the stuff, so nothing's going to fall off. It's all been properly done. But I will say to everyone, if you are getting one and you're basing it off something other than this year's jersey, go one size up. I will say go one size up. They've made them a touch tighter this year, guys. So
they were tight last year too, mate.
Yeah, that's my spot, mate. I was a fullback winger, buddy. That's my spot. I used to wear the number 2, mate. Playing I used to go the good old days, mate. Playing Oztag for Australia. Oh, the old test matches in New Zealand. It was good fun, guys. Missed the Oztag days. Is the Bulldogs signing only for members on Tuesday? As far as I'm aware, it was sent to the members, and they are asking for your membership number, Brian. But I'm not sure if you didn't have a number, how that would work. It is for the members, I'm guessing, but I'm not sure how that would work otherwise. So, otherwise, if you're not sure, there's a few members here that could help you out that not turning up, that could register for you. Just turn up with just the barcode and get you in. So, if you want to turn up, let us know, mate. I'm sure we can arrange someone to help you out. Out of retirement.
No stats for the New South Wales Cup game, but guys, we talked a little bit about that. I haven't watched Jersey Flegg yet, but they lost as well. West's, top 2 in the comp, but nothing in that competition, and we lost by 6 points. We're in the game, fell away. But Ron Massey, big win over the Brothers side, and they're sitting top 2 or 3 in the comp, which is an amazing effort, and buoyed by their big win against St Mary Saints, who just smashed Mounties this week. Dogs 50-12 against the Brothers. Is that shown on the screen there?
Yeah, it is there, mate.
I might just make us a bit smaller. Ooh. But Damon Humphreys trying the first minute, 9 tries to 2. Corey Ackers, Jope Roke, another Fijian flyer, Sasai Kafusi, Leif Dietrich. Leif played in our SG ball side. He's a big, rangy guy. He goes all right, but I think there's some better players there at the moment. But he might develop. I think he's got a good attitude. Damon Humphreys, though, really liking what he does. And Chinadu Uday made his debut off the bench for Ron Massey, and I can't wait to watch that game. But just to let you know, like, this is Callum Donaldson. He was playing for the Bulldogs last year. And we had quite a few players that have been playing a lot of Ron Massey this actually play in our New South Wales Cup team today. So I think we had Chase Patterson and there was a guy there, I forgot his name. Angus Fay, Matamua. I think Matamua should be in that cup side. I think he's a good player. But yeah, our halves are coming through. They're doing some good things. Damon Humphreys, liking him, as I said, liking Bronson Rubin. Joey Taiapa was really good in Jersey Flag again today. Got a lot of, I didn't watch it, but I was told secondhand he had a really good game.
Was that the halftime score from looking at that, and it stayed like that?
No, they always stuff these things up, man.
Oh, yeah,
this happens every week. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like just a half-time score. There's nothing after the 38th minute.
No, that's bullshit. It could be true, but I'm seeing that error on the New South Wales Rugby League site consistently.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, can't wait to watch those games. I might go and actually watch a bit of that now before I go to bed. Hoping to do another stream along. Probably won't happen. Maybe Monday. We've got New South Wales. Next Monday is a public holiday in New South Wales, not in Queensland, but I might finish work early and do a stream along with the New South Wales Cup or something like that. And a reaction video maybe of the Parramatta game. We might try that, see how that goes. I won't be able to show you the game for obvious reasons, but you can see how angry I get and
Brian,
how supportive I am.
We can help you out with a member number if you need it. Shout out to CJ Uda, named in Massey.
Yeah, he played too, mate. I can't wait. He's
just confirming, is Damon Humphreys related to Bullfrog?
Not sure, but let's ask. But oh no, it's not coming up. But he might be. He might be. But again, big shout out to Sasai Latini. We did a big focus on him at the start of last year as one of the new breed. He's on the website. There will be some articles coming this week. Actually like that tall poppy syndrome, looking at that again. But there's so much evidence to show that the focus on the Bulldogs is unnatural. It's more than that it's just a big club. It is the journalists doing it, is these people in the game doing their jobs, and a lot of them are instructed to do it. Okay, so we just have to understand that. So if you're a detractor, please understand that, whilst some of the things you are seeing are rubbish from our team and whatever else at times, and you might be justified, and the comment, and a spade is being called a spade. There's a whole lot that isn't, and a lot of that you're using to justify the way that you're behaving. People saying that, they pay their membership, they do all this stuff. I've said that a number of times. Being a member of this club is a privilege. Being able to be in a position where we can support a rugby league team and have this as a distraction is a privilege. I know it's hard for our week. Gas and I couldn't really say a word after the game yesterday. Gas couldn't talk. He just had it going over and over in his head. He was that sad. You're grumpy. You got people talking about origin and stuff, and when bad things happens in families after one of the teams loses and stuff like that. Like, it's all real, guys. And, you know, and sometimes I understand where it comes from. I don't defend any of it, but I can understand the mindset of when you're having a bad week or you just want to have a good week and the Dogs are your thing that you need to win and they don't win, it can do things to your brain. And that's why we just have to, that's why we do this. It's good for our mental health to talk about it, to be positive, to be supportive, and to stop trying to believe that we have the answers all the time. It's part of our community to try and come up with answers, to think, how can we think our way out of this? And that's all. That's what it's great to be a supporter. It's the fun part of it. But sometimes, you know, just got to put it into perspective.
Couple for you there, mate. Bullock Mike's just saying, God help any journo I see at the game. That bloke is going to wear a few drinks. I spoke to a couple after the Origin game, Carianis and Brent Reed, and I had a go at them for having a go at the Dogs as well. And Brent Reed was trying to turn it back on Carianis. He goes, Carianis is worse than me. I said, he's worried about his Dragons. I said, both of you are trying to bloody be like Crawley and bloody Buzz. I said, you need to pull your heads in. So we had a bit of a laugh about that. Amir makes a good one here. When do you think the Dogs can genuinely challenge for a comp? Like, when's our window?
Who knows? Could be now. These things are... The Dogs can go and sign Payne Huss tomorrow, sign Nathan Cleary, and sign three of the best players in the and who else? James, let's say another great fullback that's coming through, Reece Walsh. Could sign all those three players and finish last. You know, that's whether you got a good coach or a bad coach. It comes down to injuries. It comes down to so much stuff. Connection on the field, everything. The window is the window.
Yep.
It's the window's open still. Those players show that they can play a Penrith side with a game plan and win. But the Dragons beat some of the best teams last year as well.
Yep.
Before not winning for the last
10
months or something. Since August last year it was. So that's it, guys. It could be now. It could be next year. Could be 5 years from now.
Brian saying, I think realistically 3 years away from a comp personally.
Realistically, we're at least 3 years away from a comp, from having players which can compete with the best players in every position on the field.
Yeah.
And that's when you've got a team that can win comps.
Hopefully with a little bit more speed and all sorts of things that you need these days, yeah.
And then they're likely to change the rules again and and say, oh, why did you get rid of Josh Curran? Why did you get rid of Connor Tracy?
Yeah. yeah.
Who's accountable? Hindsight Warriors. It's great.
That's it.
But we all love the Bulldogs, and that's all that matters. Thanks, everyone. That's it, Matty. Look, I will say that to 100%, Matty. We hope every year, I hope. I'm never one of these people who sits there and go, I'll sit there and say, we're in for a tough week this week, but I still believe we can win. There's a scenario where we can win that game. There's never 100 games of NRL where you can't win one of them. Like, that's how I look at games. If we play this game, same team, same ref, 100 times, is there a scenario we can win it? Of course, there is, always.
We need another milestone, mate. We won our 2000 last week. We need another milestone to win. King's birthday. There you go. There's a milestone. King's birthday.
We need to win 2 King's birthdays in a row.
That's it.
Or 3 in a row.
I wonder if are we gonna be allowed to walk the players from the hotel, or is no one going to turn up next week? What's going on? Are they going to do that again like they did last year?
Do it.
I led them out with the banner last year. Come on, let's go. Bring it on.
Do it and let them see the game face. No smiles.
That's it. Feel like
No.
rock stars again.
Let's go.
When they come out of the hotel, mate, it was like rock stars. Everyone's waiting and chanting and going. It was crazy.
Look, I think they'll be lucky to get 50,000 there next Monday.
Oof. I think they'll be hoping for 40 at the moment, the way things are going. I'm hoping 50, but yeah.
What did we get last year? They were talking it up like it was going to be 70, but they only got 55,
got like 55 or something, wasn't it? Yeah.
And it was raining. I was there.
Yep.
Pete was there. Joey was there. Timmy's going to wear the new jersey against Manly, or is that what you're going to wear?
That's when the Bulldogs are wearing it round 16 against Manly. Yeah. Is the black one, yeah.
Oh, so Brian's 50 next year as well. Premiership for Brian's 50-year anniversary of being on the planet. All right, people, it's 10 to 11. We'll let you get some sleep.
All right. Some of us have to go still do a walk. Let's go.
I love yous all.
59, 878. Thanks, mate. That's it. Would have been more, yeah. They were predicting more. Yep. Oop.
That's right. 24th of May for Brian. 20th for me. It'll be actually, it's my 50th next year as well.
There you go.
I'm going to have a melt. I'm going to crash out.
All right, guys. Go the doggies.
Love yous all. Go the dogs. Enjoy. And thank you to everyone who supported Walk for Autism. We'll do the draw on Tuesday. I'll get all your tickets into a draw. And we'll do it live. Dave, you look young, brother.
Thanks, old fella, Dave.
We'll put your chats up while the song's playing. See you later. Go the dogs.
Welcome to the show. All Things Bulldogs. Here we go, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Blue and white pride. Bulldogs for life. Dogfather here. Gas by my side.